I'm okay. I just smoked another to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, here been a front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come on with a dank, scrolling in a tank, rolling with the gang. You sit and I on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
You gotta speak up. You gotta speak for yourself. What up, though? Welcome to World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by young Chris.
Debut on the desk, man.
Christopher
Happy.
Platte.
Shout out to Spencer Axter, enjoying his bachelor weekend. I hope not him, but his boys' bachelor weekend.
Yes, sir.
And shout out to him for helping get me on as you as well. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to KG in the booth for filling in for me. I owe you big time for this, brother. But I'm excited.
Yeah, KG came to clutch.
Yeah, KG's the man.
KG is the man. We also got Trav.
Yes, sir.
In the building. Nick Kohloff, a.k.a. They Trois Mariel.
Let's go, boys. Let's kick the weekend off right. It's a week away from the draft. Less than a week. Let's go.
Week.
I know.
My God. Yo, just real quick, because I know yesterday we kind of broke. We didn't break it because our show starts at 5, but we talked about the jersey leak. Well, what we talked about, what Nick was concerned about, was the fucking pants. I want to see the bulge. No, but seriously, Nick was kind of pressed on.
No, I said that's why people can still go.
To see the bulge?
To see the pants, see the full fits.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to see Dan, you got to see Sheila.
Yes.
People needed an excuse, to go. You got to see the people. One of my buddies actually said what up to Dan getting out of his truck.
Get the fuck out of here.
Swear.
Hold on, Dan was getting out of his truck, or your buddy was getting out of his
Dan
truck?
was getting out of his truck.
I need to know what type of truck Dan Campbell drives.
Massive pickup truck.
Yeah, I gotta imagine it's the biggest one on the block. There's only
F350.
Yeah, there's only one or like 10 made tops, and he's just got one of them. That's how I imagine Dan Campbell rolling.
I could see that, and that's probably is how he rolls. I brought that up though because the full unis were revealed officially. Dirty, bro.
Dirty, man.
Dare I say intoxicating. KG, I know you're hooking your mic up, and we'll ask you later because you didn't seem that sold on when I tapped in the morning. I was kind of disappointed. You're like old man yelling at cloud.
Hey, all right, man.
The thing is, I feel like you just can't. I guess I get with like the black uniforms. Some people didn't being disappointed because there was the only other black uniform era we had was the 0-16 team.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, the guy who brought us, revived this franchise, Dan Campbell, like, asked for these uniforms firsthand. And when he asked Rod Wood told him, we'll win the division, and we'll talk. And what Dan Campbell do this past year?
Won the division.
So
Let's
if you
talk.
like Dan, better like these all-black unis. I think they're hard. And the traditional ones, too, no one can bitch about, because, like, everyone's watched Barry. If you're a Lions fan, you haven't watched Barry, shame on you. I would never tell anyone to go elsewhere to watch their content, but you should sign off right now and watch his highlights and then come back to the show. If you're a Lions fan, you got to have watched Barry. These are like reminiscent of that even too.
Well, I mean, you could also just remember to watch it at 7:05.
That is true. This is Chris' debut. Make sure you guys lock in.
Man. Come on, man. You're trying to sabotage the numbers right here. See, the numbers said this guy sucks. Don't bring him back.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bring him back, man. Run up the numbers for me, please, man. Smash the like, too. Smash the like.
Yes, sir. KG, will you put on a graphic, or I guess either one of the jersey graphics that we may or may not have in there? I don't know. Did you send any or no?
I sent one. I sent one that's in there, and then we got a couple videos of Dan and Sheila.
It's some it's like I got you.
I made 1.2 on Twitter today. This one might be kind of crazy or might be stretching it a little farther, but I do kind of still believe in it no matter what. The blue mask, I like that only because I feel like this might sound crazy actually for sure. But I feel like it might be easier to draw penalties, face mask penalties with a colored face mask. I think it's going to be easier to see versus like a regular like white one or black. You know what I'm saying? Because the blue kind of pops. Like you
I love that you go to conspiracy right away with it.
Not a conspiracy. I think fact. I mean, so I'm selling cars now. Hit me up, Suburban Ford of Ferndale. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. Easy flips whips.
Statistically, like red cars get pulled over more. Like colors attract like eyeballs. I'm just saying, if you got the blue face mask and somebody's grabbing that bitch, it's going to be a little easier spot.
Yeah.
Just a little thing I put out there. One thing I did want to ask about the black unis, the actual legitimate criticism I've heard about it, and I don't even know if it's legitimate anymore, and I actually should have sent this in, but people are comparing it to the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't own the color black. And at the end of the day, like they're the worst team in football. Like win some games, and people will care about your jersey. Like
savage, Chris.
I'm sorry, but I don't care. Like we act like half the league doesn't have blue or red or white like in their uniforms. Like black is a very traditional color, and I like these jerseys too because honestly, I saw some people walking around with like the older Blue Lions jerseys today, and I saw them compared to these new ones. And look at these. They pop more. They're like, they're fresher, they're cleaner. So I like this. I like this. I was worried about the change just a little bit, but I'm all in. These jerseys are hard, and I'm debating on getting one myself. But I just gotta figure out one.
Or you have to get one.
I know, but I just don't know who.
It's a requirement to be on the show.
Okay, I'll get one. I'll get a Hendon Hooker one because I gotta play the long-term value.
Oh,
you might be waiting a long time for that.
We'll get to MVP odds and all that later, but
I'll because I saved it somewhere. I gotta pull it up. The other thing too, I guess, in the legitimate criticism of looking like the Panthers, when I did pull up the Panthers jerseys, they are like different. Like they got the blue collar. Ours is like talking about the black jersey you're talking about. Like ours, our blue and stripes here and the sleeves. Like they still look different. It's not like the colors are the only thing like similar. Trav, you've been making the social media posts. We should be asking you. You've probably seen all the complaints.
It's just all the haters that are saying it. Like it's not really like the Carolina Panthers fans. Like why do they matter? Like no one wants to be the Panthers.
Yeah,
I promise you.
I'm saying, man. No
And then
Look at us as Lions
in
fans.
terms of Lions fans, it's just
right?
the people that didn't want black in the first place that are just saying we don't want to look like the Panthers. They're just saying stuff to say it.
It's kind of reminiscent to when like the Pistons did the teal. A lot of people were bitching about that too. Like we lost in the teal. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. The
Right,
teal
who
looks
cares?
fresh.
It looks hard.
That's their best logo.
If we're gonna
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Your mascot is that horse on fire.
Yeah.
Hooper. Like we was gonna be a basketball, like the real fucking a basketball team with a basketball
I hate
mascot.
that. Well,
That's real clever.
if
How
Gores,
original.
if Gores wants to start getting approval back, then you need to change the logo back. Like I'm sorry. Like if you want to start winning these fans over, not only do you have to make some smart hires, get rid of the Towns, clean house, but you got to bring that Hooper mascot back, man, for real. Like, it's like Hooper's still at the games. Like, bring that. It's still integrated in the Pistons basketball.
Yeah, it
so
is.
do that.
I'm with you on that one too.
You know what's a jersey, though, I did want to bring back because we were thinking about jerseys we want to bring back?
What?
And this one's kind of simple, so I won't be mad if people hate it. Maybe it's nostalgia. Shout out to Rip Hamilton jersey I got now. But I want the red Piston going to work. Those red alternates.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah.
Those were fire. I like those a lot.
I like the Thunder, not the Thunder.
Oh, the
like
shock
OKC.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were cool, too.
I rocked the Shocks. I mean, I'm not really impressed. The one jersey I actually do need to change, and I know KG and Nick, you guys could both speak on this more than myself even, the Tigers.
Yeah.
New Tigers jerseys are fucking bland,
Yeah.
boring.
I mean, the
You
old
can't-
English D
yes.
travel though.
Yes,
Yeah, you can't
take
beat that.
away the
That's
old
what I'm
English
saying.
D.
You can't beat that old English D.
They need to bring those back because the new ones are just whack. They look like just white T-shirts with names on them.
I agree. You know what's one, though? I think we'll get universal approval.
On the comeback,
Let's go back to the Red Wings jersey. No patch. That costs us the playoffs, man.
facts.
Come on, man. What
Yeah.
are we doing here?
Yeah,
Get rid of the
yeah.
patch.
The results are the results.
Too soon, fellas. Too
If it wasn't for that patch,
that shit
we'd be in
happened
the
after
playoffs.
the fucking patch immediately.
It did.
Immediately. Win streak to lose streak. Like, direct correlation
Was it the
there.
7? Was it the 7?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was like a joke for a little bit, but then it like actually like turned into
Yeah,
like they
bro.
can't win a fucking game with this patch.
I'm
on.
telling you,
Well,
man.
wild
Bring
card
them
seed
back.
one?
We were on a 7th game winning streak. Put on the patch. Continued to lose. I think it was 8 straight.
I think, yeah, it was like 6, 7, or 8, something like that. Like, yeah, come on. Man. Like, that cost us the playoffs. Go back to the original, man. It's a classic jersey.
I'm still pissed about that, man. That's too soon to talk about the Red Wings. I'm not even getting tuned
It's crazy because we
in
let
to
it
these
slide too.
NHL
We let the
playoffs.
patch slide for a minute. Because
Yeah.
there's just nothing we can do about it at this point. They're not going to do anything about it. They got the money. The dollar is what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's why you can't tackle from behind in football anymore either. That's some bullshit.
When it comes to the jersey, I think Carolina is a little more teal compared to the Honolulu
Yes.
blue, which we can
Yeah,
get
I gotta
away
find a
with.
picture.
And I do like the upgraded jerseys because it is more of a Honolulu blue compared to maybe like that navy blue, like the old kind of jerseys looked in my eyes.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
boy
it's
made a
just
great
fresher.
point too. The gray jerseys were Honolulu blue and silver, not gray. Like the gray jerseys weren't like that. Just shouldn't have been a thing, really. I didn't actually hate them. I didn't love them. They looked
Yeah.
like pajamas to me when they did the all grays. Like,
Yeah.
like the grays probably would have went harder had you had like black pants or something.
Gray
like that.
just almost never looks good as jerseys to me. Like, am I tripping? Like, does anybody recall good gray jerseys?
Yeah, it reminds me of bad Pistons play too. When Blake
Yeah,
Griffin
that's what
was
I'm
here.
saying. Like those tire mark chrome jerseys, those were terrible.
trying
Those
to
are some of the
think.
worst jerseys I've ever seen.
It's gotta be
Does
some good
anybody think
grays.
that there's any fire gray jerseys? Like, I really,
It's gotta be.
Really.
I
haven't
think the
seen them.
Nets had a tough gray jersey like a couple years ago when Kyrie was there.
Yeah, it's
they
they
did. The
did.
Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
they-
what I'm saying. Though. If we were gonna do the gray, the pants should have
They
been black.
incorporated the Biggie Coochie
Yeah.
sweater part though, which was cool.
That's kinda
Yeah.
hard. That's
Yeah.
dope. Yeah, I guess that's it for grays. Just off the top of my head.
Yeah,
There's
that's-
got to be some more. I just can't think of it.
What's that?
It's got to be more. Like, I don't
KG,
know.
if you want to, in Slack, I posted a picture of the Panthers jersey
I got you.
and the Lions jersey. If you want, guys want to look at it side by side, because they are different.
Yeah.
Like, and I still I think ours is just harder in general.
Yeah.
Like the blue around the collar, I get that kind of like signifies significant. I don't know what I'm looking for right there.
Yeah,
It
that
lets you
sounded
know when
wild.
the head is there.
Well, Lions PR posted that we had black jerseys in like 1948, so we
Oh, I
had it
didn't
way
know that.
before the Panthers even had them.
PR had it ready.
Did you find any pictures of them? Mm-mm. That's crazy. They would have said that and not like brought them though.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say the chant that Spencer was saying yesterday when it comes to those jerseys.
Hey, what's in Travis's cup? Is in Travis's cup.
It's lean.
You guys know the rules.
Yeah, purple. lean,
Scissor.
Sprite.
It's like that.
Promethazine.
It's a double cup.
Double cupped up. I'm just saying.
Double cup
He
Friday.
leaning. Over there leaning.
Hey, the video on Twitter the Lions put out though, all-time hard video. Like
Well, my son was screaming.
that
Did I
was
send you guys a video?
elite.
My
They
4-year-old
killed
son was like hype over that video. That's how good of a job they did.
Yeah.
And like
I
he's,
saw that video.
You saw
That
it?
was dope. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
was
you
like,
posted
"Oh
that.
my god!"
Yeah.
His favorite color too, low key, is black. I keep trying to tell him black's a shade though.
Yeah.
It is.
Mistaken.
It did look like the kind of like setting the scene of a movie like Dark Knight, you know, before like
Yeah.
Batman like comes swooping in like all black, when he comes
Yeah.
in, like it was sick.
All right,
It was-
I got the side by side. My
You got a side by
bad.
side. No, you're good. That's my bad for sitting.
Now,
in it.
question for you
Different.
guys.
They're different.
They're okay. Yeah, they're absolutely different.
Yeah.
All there is you could say they're blue and black, but they're also different.
But the blues
Yeah,
are
the
different.
blue is way
Yes.
different.
They
And
have
ours-
Carolina blue. We have Honolulu, and ours is a little darker. So
Look
Yes.
how dusty that looks too. That Carolina jersey.
I don't know, I almost felt bad because I never disliked their jerseys until I saw them next to ours.
yeah.
Ours just goes harder.
Ours is just way cleaner.
Yeah, so you finally got a mic now. What didn't you like about them?
So, like I said, I just thought they would do more with it. It's cool that they had a notch to the pass with the arm pads and all that. I just thought the design would be different, man. But like I said, it's a tier system. The home blues, that's the most basic uniform out of all of them. I don't like how they put the name of the city on every other jersey, but that one, it's kind of weird to
That
me.
was weird, yeah.
Yeah, but then it's the whites. The white jerseys, clean look.
Yeah.
I don't like the blue pants, but everything else you can go with. And then the blacks are like those are top tier. I got to give props to the blacks. And that blue helmet is amazing, bro. I've never seen the Lions have a
yeah.
helmet that fly, bro. That blue and that black, it get me every
hard,
time.
man.
It get me every time.
It's crazy because I remember when they came out with the blue one last year with like just the old school logo from the
Yeah.
60s or whatever, and I liked it. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the blue helmet by itself was just nasty, but like now I got to see the black version next to it.
Yeah.
I'm glad they just discontinued that bitch.
Yeah.
No,
That's why I said on Twitter today. I said the new one just washes that one.
It's not even close.
No.
It's such a shit. And I get the homage because I'm pretty sure they won championships, like NFL
Yeah.
championships.
I like that helmet, but yeah, this new one is
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say,
hands
I
down.
didn't dislike it. But when I saw
Yeah.
the new one next to it, I'm like, yeah.
Hands down.
I'm
Not
good.
even close.
now question: did the leaks ruin anything for you guys?
No.
Like
Not really.
Not at all.
Like we talked about that yesterday, but now hindsight, you got the jerseys out there. They did do some good promo videos and all of that. Like,
Yes.
would it have been a lot more hype had we not gotten the leak? Or
If-
is it just doesn't matter?
If you were there, I think that it would have been crazy hype to be there and see them like
Unveil
it.
Yeah.
Pull that video out. Ford Field goes crazy again. I think that's what everyone missed out on. But I mean, as a guy that wasn't there, as just a fan, it was honestly pretty nice to get the leak because it had something. You had something all day to talk about and discuss with friends and fans.
Yeah.
And thank God they took the Willie Clay Ford patch off the side, man. Like I was sick of that.
Someone told me it's in the back of the helmet now, though.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is. It's right. It's a little logo.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's whatever. I'm not tripping. I do regret not going last night, though, because that's the first chance to purchase it. And I didn't know that was going to be, I should have known better. But I wish I went because I would have been the first dibs on the new jerseys.
Same buddy that saw Dan Campbell, Brian Branch in black, like we talked about on the show. I'm jealous as hell
that's what he
that
got?
I did not get it. Yeah.
He bought it there?
Yeah.
He has it physically?
Yes.
See, man, that's why I'm mad.
believe so, yeah.
I would have had the bitch to wear today.
Yeah, that would have been hard. What are you getting B?
I don't know yet. I got him. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of giving Spinny. I told Spinny to get like a badass in the black, but the Hutch actually looks cold in the black.
Yeah, it does.
So I might get
the jerseys are good, man. As long as you're a halfway decent player, you're gonna look good.
I'm getting a lean. I've already made the commitment.
A lean?
Yeah.
Nice. Is he wearing 54 officially?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Shout out Dream.
I don't know what color to get. What should I get? Whose jersey should I get Bryson?
I think honestly, like an Amon-Ra would be cool. Like honestly, somebody like a star player. Does he have a favorite player yet, or not really?
Barry Sanders.
Yeah, yeah. Because I know you said.
Maybe I get him a Barry one.
They don't. Do they do historic ones though? Like, could you get like a?
I might even get shit to say B. To be honest with you.
Honestly, that's the move. That's the move right there. Get him a
custom
one. Get him something clean.
J-Mo.
Yeah. It'll be a classic later on.
Yeah. What do you think, KG?
I'd do the custom, honestly.
You custom for his own name?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm put. That's actually the move.
I got the Gibbs coming in.
That would be hard.
Hell yeah.
You got a Gibbs? The black one?
Yep.
Oh,
that's fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna order B custom one. That's what I'm gonna do. Nick, Jordan one?
No, not yet. I'm debating.
Which one to get?
Yeah, I wanted to get Branch, but when I heard news, my friend did see it every tailgate.
Fuck it, bro.
I mean, a matching Branch with my buddy that's usually at the tailgates tearing it up with me. I mean, would be pretty clown.
Well, he's not invited for the tailgate.
No, not a chance.
Me and Spinny both got today's jerseys.
Key member.
Yeah. I think all jokes aside, I joked about the end hooker. I think I'd get Amon-Ra. I think
that's the one I'm aiming for.
Talking about him.
I like that.
Yeah, that's the one I'm aiming for.
I want
sign that extension first, please, though. Yeah. Sign that extension, please.
All right, guys, it's the last day to get a free Shake Shack Chicken Shack sandwich.
Good job.
For the purchase of $10 or more, make sure you guys do so. Again, that's the Shake Shack Chicken Shack sandwich, promo code Woodward. That's in store, online, or on the app. Make sure you guys get it. Today is the last day to get it done. Chicken Shack Shake Shack sandwich. I messed it up the last time.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
This is gaslight.
I know y'all tired of this, wearing the same old Detroit sports merch, especially them old-ass Lions jerseys. We got new ones, but we also got other gear, too. It's a new era in wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, hats, tees, guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today. Once again, that is woodwardsports.com and click shop.
Merch. What up, though?
What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever.
You were going
He's drunk already.
No. That's gaslighting. That's gaslighting like crazy.
No.
It's
not even drinking,
my drunk
man.
friend.
Not even drinking.
Can't handle his first day on the desk, huh?
Yeah, first day on the desk.
Damn.
Fun. You have a good time?
Yeah.
You nervous?
Of course.
Is it different?
A little bit.
He looked a little loose.
Nah, I'm having a good time, man.
Oh, no.
Just
text me and ask
if I want Taco
Way to get
Oh, yeah, he
Hey,
drunk.
shout out
If
my
they ask for
family
Taco
that's
Bell, he
watching
drunk.
this right now. Appreciate you.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out. Are your parents watching?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I'm so
you're
sorry.
gaslighting for no
Yeah.
reason.
He's not a drug addict, I promise.
Easy's a liar.
Welcome back. Smash that like button. Be a friend. Tell a friend.
Hey.
Share the stream. I'm Eazy. That's Young Chris. We got KG, Travis, Nick Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario.
Let's go.
Guys, I meant to talk about this yesterday after Brad Holmes spoke. He had mentioned a couple of statements. One, being the lone wolf. And that he and Dan Campbell were that last year. during the draft process when everybody wanted a particular player at a certain certain position, and Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell wanted somebody else, and then obviously ended up going to somebody else, and they said it worked. Not obviously, but they did take the other person, and it worked out. He didn't say a name, but I just like to speculate. I mean, who do you guys think that was?
Can you be a lone wolf, first of all, if Brad and Dan were on the player?
That's true.
Both of y'all can be lone wolves.
Yeah. Or were they like set on two separate players, or was it the same player?
I may be mixing the statements together. The lone wolf one might have been by itself. Actually, I think the lone wolf stemmed from that conversation, I should say. But regardless, I guess I'm trying to wonder, like, what player do you think they went against the grain with, like, the scouting department on?
Okay.
Because he said it worked out, by the way.
Yeah.
I immediately thought Broderick because I was like, I hate that pick. But he didn't work out so far.
That's what I'm saying. But this is where, like, I really thought about this, and I'm like, okay, the easy answer would be Antoine Green and Sorsdale, guys that barely played or didn't play too well for the Lions last year. But he said it worked out.
Yes, exactly.
So I think what it is, think about it. We saw him ecstatic with Gibbs. He was super geeked about getting Gibbs. We all saw the video of that. He traded for Branch. He traded for Broderick. So I don't think it's either of them. So I think it's one of the whites. I think it's Jack Campbell or Sam Laporta. And I think it's Sam Laporta because here's why. I remember posing this last time when we were talking draft last year. And after we got the first two picks being offensive players, or two of the first three picks being offensive players, we all thought, hey, maybe there's a little part of this Ben Johnson coming back was that he understood he was getting some weapons. Not just the pay raise, but maybe some weapons with it. So was Sam Laporta like more of a Ben Johnson kind of pick? I mean, that's where my brain went. I think it's Sam Laporta.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good one. I mean, you also had Luke Musgrave that ended up going that second round. You had Michael Mayer, which was like the odds overall favorite. I remember when Sam Laporta was drafted, everyone was like, "What? They didn't take Michael Mayer?" Which I will say, Michael Mayer did start like looking pretty good down the stretch of the season.
Yeah, but he ain't got no quarterback.
I win,
exactly.
you lose.
But even more hats off to him. I think it might be Laporta. There's also Gibbs, like you mentioned too.
That's why.
But he was ecstatic.
That's why Brad was on his own with the Gibbs, and everybody in the room was pushing for Bijan.
That's true. Everybody else
they
was
were at
call.
6. They could have done it.
And I'm not gonna lie, fellas.
Yeah.
Both of those, that running back and the tight end, I thought Bijan was the pick, and I thought Michael Mayer was gonna be the pick in the second round. I will take that one. I fell for like the draft like critics, and I was like, okay, Brad definitely has his own board here.
Yeah.
KG, are you thinking the same?
Yeah, I originally thought it was Gibbs just because they did have 6. They could have took Bijan. That was like the obvious pick.
Yeah.
And then they went against the grain, and I mean, they took Gibbs instead. But it obviously could be Laporta though, because Michael Mayer was the best tight end on the board at the time.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, I got Broder in the chat. Shout out Broder saying Laporta. I mean, that's the guy that's plugged in.
I think it's Laporta, only because
I think it's Laporta.
When the Gibbs pick happened, there were still like GMs that came out later on, like, yeah, we were mad. We wanted to take
allegedly,
Gibbs. We like Gibbs.
Yeah, wasn't the rumor the Patriots?
That was never said with the Laporta pick. And nobody else came out and was like, oh, I wanted Laporta. Like that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And obviously you still had the whole situation with, I think it was who's the kid that ended up going to the Bills? Dalton Kincaid. Yeah, Kincaid. Like he went first round. It's got to be Laporta. Can't be Campbell because I can't say that it worked out yet. Although I believe it is. He will, at least. Who do you think it is?
I think it's Laporta, too.
Yeah.
Because I was in my car when we drafted Laporta, and I was pissed because I wanted Mayer, too.
I was because, Nick, you got it on. You filmed it, actually.
Yeah, we were in the just right next to us for
the Lions
second rounder. And then for the first one, I was right there for the Gibbs, and I was recording all the content, so...
I remember Spinny was pissed.
Yes, that draft party, everyone was pretty livid for a hot beat, and then as it went on, you guys were like, all right, let's chill out a bit.
I want to say, if you even go back and watch the video, I was just kind of straight-faced, because I just didn't know. Yeah. I'm just not going to question Brad at this point. The running back one...
Yeah,
that took a day.
That was out there.
What the
That took a day. And I'm glad I wasn't live on air when it happened because I probably wouldn't have had good things to say.
The thing is, I liked Gibbs as a player, like at Alabama, but Bijan was like, it seemed like the obvious pick. You know?
Yeah. And honestly, Bijan's still a dog. Like, Bijan's still really good.
Yeah, he's a beast. I'm surprised nobody's really saying Campbell because I felt like Campbell was more criticized than Gibbs. I know Gibbs was drafted higher, but Gibbs. I feel like it was more obvious that Gibbs was going to be a high level player or at least potentially a first round talent as opposed to Campbell, right?
The thing with Campbell though is like what disqualifies that as being the player is the it worked out part. I don't know if you could say that quite yet about Campbell.
I mean, almost 100 tackles rookie season.
Yeah,
he didn't have a bad rookie year. Just compared to the rookies that we have up against him, it didn't look as good.
Also, his numbers look a lot better if he's not playing right next to Alex Anzalone.
That's true.
Like, his numbers would skyrocket. And we saw the one start he had against New Orleans. He balled out in that game.
Got a couple starts towards the end of the season.
It was 2 or 3 TFLs in his first start.
And I don't think you could say that Campbell, and I know that you're not saying it didn't work out, but I don't think you could say that because Brad Holmes has been a guy that doesn't just look at production when it comes to these players. He looks at the overall impact, and I think we can all sit here and say that Campbell was impactful this season in a positive way. Now, was he a first-round player talent? Probably not. Can he still get there? Probably. You would like to assume so. You don't draft a player and think that their rookie year is their ceiling. But at the end of the day, this is a player that I think was productive, and I think Brad Holmes sees the vision for growth with him. So that's why I don't think it's him, because Brad Holmes I don't think would call a player a bust year one or say it's not working out year one, you know?
Yeah, the one thing for me is with linebacker and tight end, like those are positions that's going to take longer to adjust to at the NFL level. Unless in those two roles you have like a specific role that you should always do. Like Micah Parsons is different because he played the line too, but certain guys like Edger Cooper, the way I was talking about him yesterday, is like if you put him at linebacker or Sam, like you're probably blitzing him 50-40% of the time when he's out there. He has that one like singular role where like Campbell is going to be tasked with doing it all, and so like that's going to take a year to like kind of develop that at the NFL level. I mean, the thing that every single player I feel like says at every single sport, the change from pro to college is the speed, the game speed. That's obviously something as a middle linebacker where you're kind of like the brains of the defense. Like, yeah, bro, it's going to take a minute to like digest. And they also put him out there at Sam, which he's never played before either. Yeah. But yeah, I guess yeah, you could make a point for Campbell with the end of the season tackles and whatnot.
Yeah.
But at the same point though, like your linebackers probably should have the most tackles, especially with the type of defense we ran against the run. We kind of just like sacrifice them to have a better run defense.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be this year with DJ Reader though.
Yeah. This year's defense, man, I'm telling you that your theory about Aaron Glenn, I have always subscribed to it. I believe it's correct that, you know, give this guy the tools that he needs to succeed, and he will succeed and put together a quality defense. But this year, man, I think he's got it, right? Like he's got the tools. He's got all the capabilities in the world to be a top 15-ish defense.
And I think they're still going to add to it.
Yeah.
Like I'm fairly confident they will. Like on paper, here's the thing. Here's the dope part about it. And that's why I love having like certain guests on, like the guys from PFF or Matt Hamilton yesterday too. Although I don't think we had this conversation. No, we did talk about DJ Reader and Matt too. Yeah. But it's like we can say certain things about this team that are positive, and it could always be spun as, hey, you're a Lions fan. Like, of course you have some good things to say. Although I feel like I'm fairly critical when things are. That's why people hate me sometimes.
Yeah.
But when you hear outside guys that are also ball knowers, again, like Trevor Sikkema or Connor Rogers or whoever you may like subscribe to, and they mention, man, DJ Reader next to Lee McNeil. Oh, the coach from the All 22 films. Coach we had on too. Like when you hear those guys reiterate those same statements, then you know it's real. And that's why you can start saying stuff I said too. Like now, AG has no excuse. He can cook up.
Yeah.
You can say it's just one or two players. It doesn't matter though, because like we know what that equates to in terms of like what their roles are.
And again, we keep having to hammer home the point, or I like to keep hammering home the point of the young team growing.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think Hutch is at his ceiling now. You don't think Branch was at his ceiling last year. Kirby was at his ceiling. These are young guys that are going to grow and get better. So I think that between not only the additions, but also internal growth, I think this is a team that can be a lot better defensively.
I agree. Nick, you want to tell us about Feldman Chevrolet?
I would love nothing more than to tell you about Feldman Chevrolet. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast and convenient first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Shit, my bad.
Shows the world how the draft should be done. Woodward Sports, your official Detroit draft partner. Listen for great insight into the draft, places to go, and what's happening in the city.
The Detroit Lions select.
See you downtown for the draft.
BGCSM 3C Sports Conference is coming during NFL Draft Week, starting on April 24th. Special guests will include Jerome Bettis, Barry Sanders, Eddie George, Aleem McNeil, Calvin Johnson Jr., Sean H. Wilson, Cynthia Freeland, Adam Scheffner, and more. This event is open to athletes, coaches, and parents, but space is limited. So go to our website and purchase your tickets today at www.bgcsm.org.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights live on WoodSports.com. I'm boy Eazy, joined by my guy, young Chris.
Yes, sir.
KG in the TD booth. Trav on the Maz chair, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario.
Let's go.
I promised you guys that Lone Wolf topic, or more so, I should say. I promised Noah that Lone Wolf topic. But I guess the way to bring it up, because I did tie it into the last one, and it wasn't the same. The Lone Wolf statement that Brad Holmes made, if I can read it verbatim if you guys would like. It says, it's probably more of the groupthink and influence that's probably a greater threat to our process. That's just a human nature. People naturally just want to be a part of a tribe. They want to get along, and people naturally... They want to be likable and agreeable. It takes work to go against the grain. It's like a lot of work. And that's why I always have a lot of respect for the Lone Wolf. When we're in there and everybody's saying yes, 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 and it's some obvious prospect, it's that one person in the room that's like, I don't know. I think he's talking about, I guess, having someone challenge some of those guys that you see. Like, I mean, the Caleb Williams, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Neil's tried doing it today. But it's nice to have somebody challenge those automatic like A+.
Yeah.
Yes, just because you are forced to do the homework and find out, like, is it real or not? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're in the wrong, and I enjoy this too, because I am the one to go against the grain, and I'll become more educated because of it. Because one, either I'll have you people who disagree bringing facts to me on the opposite of it, where I'm just have to go dig in my bag and find more shit to support mine, and then we find the absolute truth between the two of them.
Yeah.
And some people are more like stubborn. Obviously, you want to some people dig your heels in, like, fuck that. But I just like being right. I like coming down to the bottom of it. I'll switch my opinion sometimes. I know people say I don't, and that's where things again where I've come to an absolute truth in my mind. Obviously, it's still opinions.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wasn't a hockey fan before like this last season. Mm-hmm. They started playing well. I got to watch a different version of the Red Wings team that I've been watching the past like 3-4 years. Now I like watching them. They're fucking sweet. They're sweet to watch now.
Yeah.
Tigers now too. They're winning. I mean, boring offense. I will say that.
On.
Yeah. But they're holding on.
They're holding on, man.
Holding on is a statement. But no, I don't think Brad Holmes. This is how he operates. Like he is that phrase. If you see me fighting a bear, help the bear. Like that's Brad Holmes. That's the way he operates. And this is why he is what he is when it comes to the draft. Remember, we heard the stories before he even got to Detroit. Pounding on the table for Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, challenging conventional thinking often leads to great results because you're either going to get the same answer that you would have and just be more educated on it, or find the better opinion. Because how many of these people that watch film are wrong?
Yeah.
All of them. All of them are wrong to an extent. Show me one person that's ever been perfect on every single pick that or scout they've ever done. There's none.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, yeah, you can look at these and you can get an idea. That's what I do going into a draft, whether it's NFL, NBA, whatever. You go to a draft, you look at the consensus, like the general, there's a lot of places people agree, but then you start digging in and then you see everybody's board is different. And that's because as you get into the tape more, you find out more truth about these players and context matters. So I think that Brad Holmes, this is where he cooks. And I don't think that no matter he's a lone wolf or in agreement with everybody, you don't side against him.
Yeah.
You pick the bear every time. What does he got to do to prove that he's not elite in drafting?
Yeah. And again, he's in the same bag where he's talking about, like, hey, I'll go back and watch the film if that many people disagree with me. But again, you become sharper at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, your standpoints, and, like, you give more context of what you see, or you may see what somebody else is talking about too. Did you have any takeaways from that, Travis?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to bring up a couple, it might have been a month ago or so. He was saying stuff about how he kind of likes that they're picking later in the draft because people kind of expect you to miss picks down there, and it just makes him study harder and want to make the right pick so he can prove people wrong in that aspect.
Facts. I mean, we just got off a week from, it went viral, by the way, and I don't know if it's because it's like dead season or not, but like Jared Goff kind of calling out the Detroit media about being negative.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but at some point, and I'm part of it in a sense, I guess, more like social media, obviously, because we're digitally, but like, I speak my opinion on like what I see, what I perceive it as. If you want to take it as negative and it makes you better, I have no problem with that. It's just like Brad's saying, like, okay, people think we can't cook in the back half of the draft. Watch me, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna double down and go even harder at this point. Yeah, like I fuck with that. I'm glad that we have that guy as our GM, and it pointed out to me too. Is this guy is a true lone wolf? Where as we talked about on the show previously, but he used to work at fucking rent-a-car.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like not even like the GM or owner or nothing like that. No, he worked at fucking rent-a-car.
He hustled, man.
Hustled his way into like the social media department, and then from there scouting, and then now general manager. Bro, Brad's he's a fucking.
How do you
man.
jump from social to scouting? That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why, like, he's talking about that lone wolf, and why he'll stop and listen to him is like, he was that lone wolf. Why the fuck are we gonna listen to this guy? He worked at rent-a-car.
Yeah.
What was this guy got to say about Aaron Donald? He was fucking just renting out my car when I flew in from Atlanta last week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
But he was that lone wolf.
Yeah.
And obviously he had valued opinions.
Yeah, exactly. That leads right into what I'm saying here. If you put in the work and trust your takes, he wants to hear your takes that you're giving, because he does not have you in that room to agree with him 100% of the time. He doesn't want yes men in his room that agree with him. He wants constructive thinking and to go back at him on a player. And like, I think that's what he's sticking to when it comes to the lone wolf. He respects people that go out and go against the grain for a player that they've studied and 100% buy into. I think that he just has respect for that, and so do I. I mean, trust your eyes, heart, and your instinct, and don't be scared to say it.
Yeah, and he's been there too. When you look at the, I mean, we just got done talking about the Bijan Robinson pick, but everybody and their mom was all about Jalen Carter.
Yeah,
I mean, and on tape, honestly, I feel like there's really hard to refute him or what he is or what he's going to be. Lone Wolf Brad was like, I don't like what he is off the field. I don't really want to mess with that.
Yeah.
Although Cam Sutton happened, but we don't.
I mean, that's not his fault.
Shit happens. You know what I'm
Cam Sutton, until that point, had shown no signs that he was gonna do some shit like that. So,
yeah, but I mean, that's what makes Brad Holmes a great evaluator. Is not only does like that character stuff. When we first started this show, I remember us saying, you know, man, F the character. You know what I mean? Like, we can have one bet, but no, time and time again. When he's proven, hey, I'm not drafting this guy because of character, or I'm drafting this guy because of character, it's worked out. Like, that has been a real thing. So Brad Holmes is just every aspect of drafting. Not only is he good at finding the talent, but he's good at finding the players that fit the culture that he wants to build and having that kind of vision. Do you know how hard it was for him to come into this team with everything that was left from the Quinn Trisha era?
Yeah.
And have a vision? Like, how do you walk in that first day on the job? Imagine Brad Holmes, that first day on the job, walking in, looking at what he's got, the cap sheet, the draft assets, the players on the roster, and forming a vision. And it being this fast.
Yeah.
It's insane.
3 years.
Yeah, that's the piece he had to say too, and maybe we'll probably just branch this off in the next segment that he wanted to do is like the trades. What do you expect to move? What do you expect him to grab? Because like another piece he said in that press conference is like the tape, yes, but he wants conviction. Like he wants to be convicted before he drafts a player. And when I was thinking about it, that doesn't really sound like a trade back scenario.
It don't.
Like if you're convicted, while you're like, oh, I'm waiting, then I'm gonna wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're convicted.
You go get him.
You go get him. The same thing they did with Jameson Williams. Let's go to break a little bit early. You got to tell us about the morning show, Nick?
Yes, sir.
Let's come back. Let's talk about that. Brad Holmes making some draft day trades.
If you want to see some fire takes from KG in the booth over
Hey,
there, Woodward Sports has a new morning show. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. live on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every morning as they cover all the Detroit sports. Sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Visit Dispo Dispensary tomorrow for the holiday 420. And guys, I used to work there. I am not capping in my raps when I tell you they got the best deals in the game. And on top of that, they're giving away thousands upon thousands of prizes, and that's at all locations. If you guys saw the Dispo, Coach Eazy video, you saw them fine dime bristles. They actually work the front counters too. Yeah. So if you think you got a chance one of them, go ahead and do that. Grab your stuff and ball out. That's Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug. Actually visited today, and I was like, tomorrow is like the deals. Yeah. I was all right. Well, let me just get this.
You didn't get no pre-deal? No pre-deal?
You forgot a little bit?
I mean,
I mean, come on. I accept big stepper in Dispo.
But tomorrow they're actually giving away $500 worth of gift cards, Dispo discards.
Oh, that's
cards for like the first 500 customers, or $200 gift cards. I apologize.
That's fire.
That is fire. I mean, bro, what?
You're
gonna go away? I'm about to spend money either way. You about to go?
Yeah.
I promise you, they got the best deals. Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on sports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Young Chris, KG,
shout out,
Trav in the mass chair, Nicholas Kohloff. And speaking of Nicholas Kohloff, he texted the group chat today looking for topics, and one point that he made is there two players that you guys want to trade up for, or you would trade up for, that you're convicted by, as Brad Holmes said. And I was like, I think that's a great point to make, because as much as it kind of felt like we were saying at 29, when I revisited that press conference and he kept using that word, like, we got to be convicted to take a player, again, I feel like that's not a guy. If you're convicted, I don't know if you're sitting and waiting for it.
Yeah.
If you're convicted, you just go up and grab it.
But on the same token, Brad is shown to be a penny pincher, bargain bin shopper, like all of these phrases. So like he really
comes
knows.
To free agency.
Yeah, but I think he also applies that mentality to the draft. Because he goes against his guys. But listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think Brad is a master manipulator of the board. Like when he moved to those picks, when he traded back last year from 6, and he got those picks, he knew exactly where to go, because I think it was like 2 picks later, somebody was rumored to take Gibbs. So he has a good sense for not only what he wants, but what other teams want. So I think he is just really, that's like another level of brilliance, to be able to understand accurately what these other teams are thinking, and I think if he can take an asset, move a couple spots back, still know that the guy he wants will be there, or one of the two guys he wants will still be there, then also get a future asset. Like, I think that's something that Brad Holmes has shown the ability to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's much more of a bargain.
He's more aggressive in the draft for sure, but I do also think he sees value and he sees the board at a very high level. So I think he could do that.
Did you guys listen to that presser by chance? Did you listen to that?
Only a piece.
He even said there was a point in the draft where they almost traded up from 18 to grab somebody else. And I'm just curious who the hell that was too.
Who was between 12 and 18? Let's play a little.
Let's
do that. All right, so this point to the top 2 players you must have in this draft. It's kind of thinking like 2 of the prospects you really think are going to help out this team. It doesn't have to be 2 moves that you're trading up, 2 guys that you want. It could be, say, we move from 29 to 18 for a prospect. You might have to give up a second, but who's the guy that you love that hopefully is there in the 3rd? You know what I'm saying, Eazy?
Yes, you're saying...
Yeah, just 2 guys in the whole entire draft that you think can help take this team to another level for now or the future. That's basically where we're going with this one. But I want to start this off with... Give me a sec here, Chris. 2 players that NBA and NFL savant Chris Platte is gonna have to have in this draft. If you're Brad Holmes and the Lions, who are 2 players, no matter how you get them, that you're gonna want in this draft? If you're the Detroit Lions.
Williams not playing.
yeah. Any quarterback. No, I think Jared Verse is a guy that I've been sold on.
Ding.
The more and more I dig into that, I like what I see there. I think and I think you got to get one of them elite corners, because I'm a firm believer of, if you're drafting a cornerback high in this draft and you believe that he can be a top 15, top 20 CB, like an upper half CB1 in this league, you go and get him. Those are 2 guys I'm really looking at, to be honest with you. Those are 2 areas. Even if they wait this year, because listen, we had it in the intro, we didn't get to it, but Amik, I watched the video of Amik, or what he put on his story about like him studying
3
film.
a.m. in the morning.
Grinding.
Green Bay Packers film.
Grinding.
No way.
What a go.
Yeah. So like,
story.
you take that. I like what I see here. Yeah. Slight flex.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But Amik and obviously Carlton Davis, like, I like what we got now, but there's nothing long term there. So if you believe there's a CB1 in this draft, or a guy that can potentially be a CB1, I think if you're Brad Holmes, you go get him. And I know he doesn't draft off need, he goes BPA, but I think if you can have a chance to build that cornerback room for the future, bring a cornerback in who doesn't have expectations to start, but can contribute if, for a week or 2, Carlton Davis is out missing some games, something along those lines. I think that's a great move, a home run move for all sides. So I'm there, and then again, Jared Verse, I just like the talent there.
So I got to talk with our guy Matt Hamilton that we had on yesterday. That totally forgot was actual a scout for us back in the day, and he mentioned that teams do have like these philosophies of guys they want, and guys are kind of like maxing and relaxing and waiting to fall to them. But the thing why the draft is so fun and chaotic, if you guys watch the movie Draft Day, so many other moves are made that you then have to counter react to. Like, you may have been like chilling, like, 29, like, Kool-Aid's falling, and then somebody else also in need of a cornerback jumps ahead of you.
Yeah.
And we did it before to the Eagles with Lee McNeil. Remember, we took Lee McNeil and the Eagles, and they showed the Eagles like front office all pissed off and shit like that.
Right.
Like, that's the chaoticness that they love about the draft and hate about the draft. One player, actually, because we don't have you on too often, and I know you watch ball, you've played ball. For me, the cornerback class, I think there's like 2 or 3 guys that are for sure like it for you. How do you feel about this cornerback class this year as opposed to like past years?
The corners?
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of, a little overrated in my opinion.
I feel the same way.
Really?
Because I feel like there's just the top guys, you don't see like the elite skills like on film that often. Like guys like Quinyon, like he's a physical guy, but he's handsy and like he's got the Akuda stuff like you guys said. So I feel like there's obviously there's going to be negatives for everybody, but I feel like the top corners that are going to be coming off the board, they're not going to be like the top tier guys that you usually get in drafts before, like a Sauce Gardner. Like, they're not going to be a guy like him, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like a rotational corner.
Yeah.
All of those guys, I think.
I'm in agreement too. And even if there were, and I don't disagree, like, we obviously need a cornerback, and it's very appeasing when that's a need for your team, and you see guys that probably fall within range. Like, I think one of those guys probably go around 15. That's some place that you probably can make the move and grab them. But like, the other piece of it, and we've already had this conversation too, is like, are you sacrificing assets to go grab a guy that may not even start for you this year? Or are you going to have the confidence to start that rookie as your outside corner when you're trying to pursue like a Super Bowl? Like, in that situation, I feel like the people I'm trying to pursue are the guy. I mean, Carlton Davis actually perfect. They did actually. They said, no, fuck this rookie class.
Yeah.
We're drafting Carlton Davis. Or not, I'm sorry, trading for him.
But essentially, in a way.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah. No, I get what you're saying, Eazy, and I agree. You want somebody, especially with your high draft pick, somebody that can contribute right away. But again, I think that building that cornerback room for the future gives you a lot of flexibility, because these guys, Amik and Carlton, like, I think they'll do good. I think they'll get the job done this year, especially given the resources that are around them.
Yeah.
I think they got the tools they need to do the job. I don't think this is going to be the 1-2 tandem of the league by any means, but I think they're going to do a good enough job. But long term, I want to build out that cornerback group. I want to have one guy that I at least know for a couple years can contribute. So even if they're not as significantly impactful this season, I think that Brad Holmes has talked about it continuously about, making that window as wide as possible, as open as possible. So while I do understand going for the player now that can contribute to winning, and I think that is a good move, I'm not knocking that in any means. But again, thinking future oriented too won't be a problem, and I think will be actually a good thing for Brad Holmes. And I think that is something he's really doing, because if you're going to re-sign Goff, if you're going to re-sign Amon-Ra, Panay, all these guys, if you're going to pay them all that money, you got to have rookies that can contribute, or players on rookie contracts that can contribute. So if you see a CB1 that might not be that impactful this year, but in a couple years can be that dog, you think, go get him. Go get them, because you see how expensive these top-tier cornerbacks are.
The thing with me with that, though, is like the CB1s in this draft, like, if it's a guy that's going to sit there and chill for you, I don't know you're making the trade for it.
Yeah.
Like, to grab the CB1 in this class, he's not falling 29. You know what I'm saying? You have to go up like 15th or early.
But I'm okay with that.
If he did do, well, honest to God, though, I mean, are we not all at the point that if Brad did almost anything, you're like,
you got to be cool with it.
At least gotta give this thing 2 years.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you guys know what makes CB1s a great defensive line, and that's where I'm going with my first player here, fellas. I was thinking it was either Verse or Latu. I think Dallas Turner's up too high for the capital we'd have to give, so I'm going Latu here. The production talks for itself. 23.5 sacks, 34 TFLs the last 2 seasons at UCLA. This guy, to pair with Aiden Hutchinson, DJ Reader, Ali McNeil on this defensive line, is going to make our cornerbacks stand out so much more already. And, by the way, for everyone that wants a corner in the first round, Stephon Gilmore is still a free agent. Bring in a veteran. Don't reach on a cornerback that may not be that high upside guy that you're looking for, like we all just alluded to, that there might not be an elite cornerback one. Don't reach for a guy that might not be that. I don't think Brad will here, and he can always go back to free agency and get Gilmore if we pair that up with an elite defensive lineman to pair with Aiden Hutchinson.
I agree with that, Nick. But, again, I'm operating under the assumption that if he's going up to get a cornerback, he's sure. This is the cornerback snob, remember? So if he's making that move, then I'm trusting it. Yeah, I'm with you, though. Like, if you have any doubt in that player's long-term ability, don't make that move. Don't make that move. Get a player. There's going to be plenty of talent at 29 that you can get that can help you this year. So I don't think you rush for that unless you know they're the guy long term.
Yep. And speaking of getting up to like 20-ish to get the guy in Latu, because I definitely don't think he'll be there at 20, so maybe that's a second or a third. But a guy in the late rounds that I really want, I hit on a little bit before, was Zach Zinter. He was on Michigan for the turnaround when we just completely out-toughed the Ohio State Buckeyes for 3 straight years, and he was a part of it for basically 2 in 3 quarters up until he broke his leg in that game. But he was a leader on 2 straight Joe Moore award-winning offensive lines. He was an All-American this past year. He was flirting with like back end first, second round before the injury. I think if you get him late and stash him for next year to be a starter, great move and low risk for Brad Holmes in this draft. I think he will do that, and I guarantee Zach Zinter would just absolutely smash the interviews that we know that these coaches in front office love.
Yeah, Zach Zinter one that would be on the list for me too. Like, when you say any 2 players, for me, it's hard not to like just think right to the top of my board, my personal board.
Yeah, no
so
worries.
For me, I am on the defensive line with Nick, but I'm at the interior. I like Byron Murphy a lot.
Hey,
really?
I like him a lot. Like, I'm a big heavies guy.
I want it.
I play defensive line, and I just know like, and Ndamukong Suh, boy, like, we got to see him come in and just like wreck shit. And I saw the best version of Detroit Lions defense in my life when Ndamukong Suh was in the middle, just commanding and causing chaos. I think Byron Murphy could be that. I think he's got that lower center of gravity. He's a freak athlete. I think we said on the show before, he has offensive touchdowns, both receiving and running. And he's also got those tree trunk legs. And he's a dog, too. I also like Johnny Newton, too, which I saw Broder take in his mock draft this morning. The only issue is, and I meant to ask Matt this yesterday, even Scott, I don't know if he's falling at 26.
I don't think he is either.
Like, this
Jershon,
defensive tackle, like this defensive tackle class, if you're drafting based off needs and you want to acquire a defensive tackle, the drop-off is real. No J. Cole. The fall-off after, like, Quinyon, I'm sorry, not Quinyon, but the fall
he's
off
got
after
so much rebranding to do.
And Byron, it's
Cole,
huge.
man.
And I feel like those guys, where you at? Actually, we go up against the break. Let's come back to break. Let's have this conversation. But not before he tells us about Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness is
like
the home of the judgment-free zone. Anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has a ton of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
BGCSM 3C Sports Conference is coming during NFL Draft Week, starting on April 24th. Special guests will include Jerome Bettis, Barry Sanders, Eddie George, Aleem McNeil, Calvin Johnson Jr., Sean H. Wilson, Cynthia Freeland, Adam Scheffner, and more. This event is open to athletes, coaches, and parents, but space is limited. So go to our website and purchase your tickets today at www.bgcsm.org.
Counting down the days until Detroit shows the world how the draft should be done. Woodward Sports, your official Detroit draft partner. Listen for great insight into the draft, places to go, and what's happening in the city.
The Detroit Lions select.
See you downtown for the draft.
Oh, this is the wrong read. Premier Pet, get your pet the best. Visit Premier Pet. They have over 60 locations, 10 miles of any location. Remember, having a pet is just like having a kid. So give your pet the best. They got over 60 brands, 13 Metro Detroit locations, and they've been operating for over 30 years. Visit www.premierpetsupply.com.
It's 2024, Grommy. I use my phone like everybody else. Who the hell's watching that on their laptop these days? Damn it! Smash that like button. Be a friend. Tell
I got a laptop in my back pocket.
You got a laptop in my back pocket.
I don't know why. There's certain bars you have that just like you just repeat like consistently. Yeah, and that's one of them. And now that one's ingrained in my head.
So I have glaucophilia. I'm just kidding. I have ADD. And sometimes, anytime anyone says a word and it's like the last word of their sentence, my head automatically spins into a song.
To a lyric. I do the same thing
all day long. People say shit. I'm just like in my head like,
right, jamming out.
It's spitting.
And sometimes I say it out loud, and people are like, yeah, I love that song. I'm like, Smash that like button, be your friend, tell a friend.
Smash the like for me, please. I want to be back here.
Young Chris, this is Young Chris's debut on the desk. Make sure to smash that like button.
Yeah,
show some
smash
love
it for me.
KG, shout out to KG for filling
big
the
time
TV booth.
shout out to KG.
So Chris can make this move.
It wouldn't be
Keep it
possible
MVP.
without him. So shout out to him. Shout out to Spencer. Hope you're enjoying your time.
No, I got you, bro.
Shout out to Trav coming through in case Chris fucks
Big
up.
Trav.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Big Trav. Yeah. And shout out to Nick Kohloff.
Warming up in the pen. Don't worry.
Yo, you said that to Chris, and Chris watches Zero Baseball. I'm like, you might as well say something in Chinese, bro. Right.
yeah, bro. I don't know Mandarin.
Before we went to break, I was kind of like fawning over Byron Murphy as like my guy in this draft. For us, at least, specifically. But like with DJ Reader, because you said that was your guy too until we got DJ Reader. Would you still like would you be upset that was a move, or like
I wouldn't be fully upset, but I would be more let down knowing that it's not going to be like a play every down type of player that we can get out of like a corner or a defensive end, like a guy that can play more than just like filling in for DJ when he needs a breath or Aleem when he needs a breath. But Byron Murphy's a freak, and if we got him, I would be happy for the future with him.
Oh man, that guy's gonna be a dog. I'm so curious where he ends up going, man. For real. Newton too. Newton, a lot of people I respect are high. Well, go ahead.
No, if you draft somebody like that, does that mean you're not re-signing Aleem?
So that's the other part of it too. Is like,
that's a good point.
I'm expecting a jump from Aleem this year.
Yeah.
I want to buy his jersey. If you guys watched us from previously before, I was slow speeding down like, yo, chill, Aleem. I don't know if he's let's see what he does with the weight loss, and then we move forward from there. That's a great question, KG.
Yeah.
And Brad in that same press conference too is like, sometimes you make these drafts based on who you guys sparring on a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would be heartbroken.
Using first round capital for a player like that, that's nothing slight because you get that 5th year option. So obviously that's a
serious investment.
Important.
And
he's right.
I think he's good as fuck in the defensive line position too, interior defensive line at least. Like naturally, Jim Schwartz actually kind of started when he's defensive coordinator, like from like with the Tennessee Titans, rotating those guys out, giving those big guys breathers. I think we have Aleem. If you're listening to his podcast, you have the Green Light podcast with Chris Long. He said I lost the weight so I can be out there all the time, and and have planned pass rush moves on those third downs because I'm not so tired. But still, I think you want to revolve those guys, and you have a guy like Byron Murphy. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's a great question. It's generational to me in my mind. I think he can be at least not now, but I think he will be.
Is there any worry with anybody in this room that Aleem, because we've all talked about the jump that we think Aleem can make with the additions defensively. Is there any worry that Aleem is going to, in a sense, price himself out of here?
Yes.
Maybe, yeah.
So if there is, then I think that what KG's saying is a very good point and very valid.
For sure.
I think you have to consider that room a little long term. Like I'm thinking about the cornerback room long term. I think you got to kind of think about defensive tackle, because if Aleem jumps to Pro Bowl numbers, like then we get all pro numbers. Like it gets a little dicey.
That's literally what happened with Justin Matabuke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the defensive tackle or the defensive lineman from Miami as well. They could not retain him, but DJ Reader's missed 10 games combined the last 2 seasons. Could this be a move to like possibly, back that up just in case insurance policy? Because
that's what it
if
seems
he
like.
is such a good pass rusher, and if Aleem has lost the weight, you can get all these guys on the field. Like I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, and you wouldn't hurt yourself or ruin anything by having Byron and Aleem out there. I don't know that he fits the Reader role where Reader truly is like a block eater. He's truly there. Exactly.
I'm saying on third down, is Reader going to be out there though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because even in pass rush reps, there's 2 human beings at the stop him and what he's able to do. So that's why I think Aleem's gonna have a big ass year, because 2 people on him in the middle. Now you have Aleem doing what he does.
He's improved in pass rush.
Exactly. And he got 5 sacks last year?
If he hadn't got injured, he would have had about 7 or 8 easy. So
I mean, I remember specifically that Raiders game. I think he had 2 in that game alone. I saw him put in work. Like damn. Like okay. And the NFC Championship game too. And that's a solid offensive line. The Raiders were ass this year, but you go to the NFC Championship game, watch them do against the 49ers. That's a good offensive line, or at least not a bad one, I'd say for sure. But I'd still take him. I guess I don't have the issue. And by the way, I think Brad still is going to take whoever. Like, we're at a point with this team, and God bless Brad Holmes for it, that, like, we're kind of shopping for depth regardless.
Yeah.
Even by accident. It's like, okay, you're a rookie. You got to earn your keep. But that don't mean we're not going to make the investment.
So then the question I beg to all of you then is, what are the chances this is Brad Holmes' best draft class? Because if he is truly in a position where he can now operate with total BPA, totally his board, whatever he wants to do, complete freedom, I mean, again, he's proven to find talent. What do we think the chances are that this could be his best draft class? Which is a crazy thing to say because last draft class was crazy. The Penn draft class was crazy. Like, this guy has been an elite drafter, but if he's now in a position with no restraints, no handcuffs, he gets to operate freely, I think this is something that could potentially be his best draft class.
It's tough, bro.
It's tough because
touching last year.
This last draft got you to an NFC Championship game, so this draft will have to win a Super Bowl.
Give me a percentage, though. A percentage. Is it 10%? Is it 20? Is it 20? Is it 30?
A percentage of how
of how likely it is that it would be the best.
Zero.
This upcoming one.
0%.
It's 50 to me, but go ahead, Nick.
My bad, KG.
No, you good.
I'm passionate about this. 0% here. We do not have
crazy.
top 5.
You're counting Brad Holmes
we
out.
We don't have top 10 capital like we have in the past. We
don't
had
need
2 first-rounders against with the Rams pick. We had 2 first-rounders the year before that. There is a 0% chance that this is going to be better than Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ali McNeil, Penei Sewell. That's just them. Like, that's just the first one. I'm trying to think who they took in the back half of that first with Sewell.
Sewell? I think they had the first
it was
the
2
following
future.
years.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you just think about what he did in that draft alone. You got 2 All-Pros in Sewell and St. Brown, and then Ali McNeil, who we all think is going to be a Pro Bowl talent the next year. But I think that first draft, I know we've talked about it in the past, but I think that's where the building blocks took place for this team to be able to get to that NFC Championship game, like KJ alluded to, like that allowed last draft's pieces to just be a running back, a linebacker, a tight end, and a safety, not for prime positions, but just let those guys just cook when they got out there.
Yeah, I think I think the odds are low because Nick is
the odds are low.
Because like one, you got the fact that you are drafting premium talent within the top 10. And then you have a similar situation last year where you're in the top 10, but then you also have the option to bounce out of that and then grab more pieces, so you have more swings at the bat or more swings at the plate with drafting people. But I still think it's gonna be a good draft.
Do the picks really matter if Brad Holmes is moving around anyway, though?
I just think you have more to move around with, though. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're
true.
Like you turned that 6 into Gibbs and Laporta last year.
Yeah.
And I think last year was his best draft class.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to say. I mean, like, because I think I have a really high expectations. Oh, you said no.
I agree.
What's the best draft?
There's 5 dudes that are playing like important time on this roster that's about to play for a Super Bowl or compete for it.
Derek Barnes.
Penei. Iffy.
St. Brown.
Iffy.
Yeah. Well, Iffy.
You count Derek Barnes in that?
He said 5 dudes. Derek Barnes got to be in that 5. Right?
Yeah. Derek Barnes, Iffy, Penei, Aleem, Amon-Ra.
So it's between 21 or last year. Because here's the thing, though. Because whose jersey did you just buy?
Gibbs.
Because he's going to be a dog.
I also got an Amon-Ra and a golf one, though.
You got a golf one?
Well, I got it from my dad.
Easy.
Why? Yeah.
No.
Why are you boiling
You must
over
not
there?
follow this man on Twitter.
I got it from my dad. Because he wanted one. I got my dad one.
Why do you hate your dad? When did that start?
No, I told him. I said, I got you a golf jersey. He goes, why'd you get me a golf jersey?
Spit on you.
So I might have to return it.
Oh, for your dad said that?
My dad's like, I don't want it. I want the Amon-Ra one.
I didn't know I raised a gawker.
Right. Golf gobbler.
Yeah, I would never. You would never.
Son's a golf gobbler.
Look at Bryson. I didn't know I raised a golf gobbler.
You'd never catch me rocking a golf.
How high would you be if Jared Goff was Bryce's favorite player?
He won't be.
But if
He's like, I'm gonna make sure that
the draft class, if it's a 2% chance, 5% chance, like how hurt would you be if that chance happened? He won't be.
He like, nah.
You relax. Leave my son's name. I'm playing.
You get back in that TD booth.
You know what's crazy is last year I did make a bet in the Dallas game before that final drive. I was like, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you probably saw it. I was like, yo, please, if Jared Goff makes like this game-winning drive, I will buy my son a Jared Goff jersey. I'll end the. There's not even a beef, to be honest with you. People just like take me saying things the wrong way, and I troll. I will admit I do troll. But then they threw an interception. That the very next play.
I think I'm forever grouped in with you in the golf haters now.
Yeah, but I'm not even haters. It's like
I'm not either.
I stand
just
with
a little
Eazy
bit.
on
I
the
just
golf
had to be
stuff.
honest.
I really do.
Thank you. That's where I'm at. I'm just being honest. Like, he's good.
That was my reply on some of them. I'm like, I love him. I mean,
Yeah.
he wins. He plays all right.
Y'all was
He plays
playing too
good,
much
puts up
off of
some
y'all
stats.
past biases, though. So, or what y'all thought he was.
No,
So-
because everything I said he was when there was a pass bias is still going on. Like, if you go back,
When is the last time you seen him fumble a football?
Jared Goff?
Yes.
The playoff
all
game
this
against the
shit
Rams.
about tiny hands and shit like that.
The playoff game against the Rams.
Well, aside from that.
What do you mean aside from that? That's a little too reason for me. Aside from that one.
He was, when he first got here, he was fumbling 5 times every fucking 2 games.
Dude,
like,
it was bad.
come on,
He got
man.
better.
It was bad.
He got better. He definitely got better. But no,
Eazy said that.
I still, yeah, that's what, I said that. The thing, even back then, when there was a bias, if you want to say there ever was a bias, I told you can win a playoff game with Jared Goff. I told you because you can't say he can't because he did it with LA.
Yeah.
So you say so anybody that was going that far enough to say like that stuff wouldn't happen, foolish. Because you can win a division with him, you damn sure can win a playoff game. You can't say you couldn't because you went to the Super Bowl. My gripe was on the contract that he was on, and now a contract he's going to be on again after this because he's going to get re-signed here shortly. We're all assuming he's going to get re-signed here shortly. It's the money. When you start paying a guy that needs all that around him to work, things get funny.
$50 million.
We gotta go to break. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We'll change the topic. Actually, 5:56.
You want to do the gossip?
I'll cheer you guys right back up when we get back. But first, tell us about Lady James, Chris.
Yeah. Awesome is when a guy. I was gonna say something. I'm like, let me just not. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? Let me tell you about Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. Their food is amazing, and their locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit. A perfect takeout option featuring hand-breaded fried chicken, New York pizza, fresh salads, sides, and more. Check out their full menu and find the closest Soroki's near you at Sorokis.com. That's SAROKIS.com. Soroki's at Woodward Sports. Now that's crispy. Shout out me.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodsportsCom. I see. Look, they're already starting. People already dropped out. They don't like when we talk about golf, and we're not calling him an MVP. It's the weirdest shit to me.
It's him.
What'd you say?
Just because he wins, I mean, it's tough to bash him, I guess, or not even bash him, but speak negative. Speak negatively about anything about him. Just because he wins and he puts up good stats, I mean. There's nothing.
No. Easy's a grown man. He can defend himself, but like it's just the hate is too out of pocket. It's like it's like even when he gives them credit, like they're just like, yeah, but this isn't enough credit.
This is
I agree.
Yes. It's y'all karma, man. Y'all built a bad will with the Lions fans.
No, bro, it's been that.
Or they can grow up.
It's been that. Certain people.
Smash the like button for Jared Goff.
I do see a couple comments in World Sports Chat. He's my quarterback, but he had to Dahmer everything. Says Shift God to be MVP. Alan W says he's definitely not top 5, but I think it's fair that he's in the upper part of top 10.
Yeah,
these guys are being realistic. But the people like Keys, but I know Keys trolling at this point because he wouldn't put his money where his mouth was.
Yeah,
he's just a troll. We dismiss what he says at this point. But I will bring that up actually because this is where this topic kind of stems from. Is the Eazy Sportsbook was open for the Gobblers. All right,
word,
and the house won. House money, House Eazy collected on every one of the bets.
I'll try to get in on the Eazy
collected
Sportsbook.
on every one of the bets. The Eazy Sportsbook is open, but I have good news for the Gobblers. At least I think they'll like it more. And it's last year, the main one, the one that dragged throughout the season was the top 5. Mm-hmm. If you finished top 5, had a couple bets out there, 300 there, 200 there, 100 there, that was the exchange of a payment. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Detroit Supremacy. He held true to his word. He paid the most out of all of them. It was like $367, real one. This year, I'm opening up that same bet. Before where the Gobblers can feel good or feel validated a little bit, I am moving the line from top 5 to top 3 in terms of MVP votes. And the reason why is last year, I think we saw the filthiest version of Goff. Just because he kind of like manipulated the game to his favor. Yeah. And that being year 2 in that Ben Johnson offense, right?
Knows the system.
Another year of this next year. Because, it was to the point where like we saw rushing touchdowns out of Jared Goff. We saw rushing attempts out of Jared Goff. Things like you normally wouldn't want to see. But like when I see it, I'm just like, I like that because he has confidence in what's going on around him, who he has in front of him. I like that. There's a whole other year of that now, too, where I think Goff, he's a criticism you can have him that is absolute fact is that he's a little bit of a statue. He's kind of mobile in there. Obviously, he moves around, but that's the same thing as like your worst hitter on your baseball team can hit a home run. But it's just 3 throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean he can't do it. He can do it every once in a while, but it's not like he's not pulling it out of his bag all the time. I think now, year 3 of this, you might see him because he knows with these routes like the back of his hand, he might move her a little bit around because he knows where certain guys are supposed to be. Yeah. And he's going to make that throw. He also has another safety belt in Sam Laporta. Obviously, on top of that, Amon-Ra St. Brown, too. Jameson Williams now emerged a little bit as well. I think you might see a sexier version of Goff this year. I really think we might. So therefore, the book's open, by the way. You think Goff's going to win MVP? Give me your money. I mean, make the bet. Whatever you want to do. Yeah. But I am now moving it from top 5 to top 3.
So the bet is now
it could be top
3.
5.
The bet is now top 3. So just
top 3.
I did the research, and last year's top 10 was in order: Lamar Jackson, Dak, CMC, Brock Purdy, Josh Allen, Tyreek, Patrick Mahomes, Stafford, Stroud, and Myles Garrett. So that's your top 10. I think that, Stroud, I expect to move up.
Allen, MVP vote over Jared Goff.
Allen, I think, is somebody that can move up or stay the same. Lamar, somebody that can stay the same. Dak, I think the hype falls off, but you never know with the Dallas propaganda that they use as America's team.
That's
CMC will probably be there. So there's room for Goff to get top 5 talk, because really to be a top 5 MVP candidate, you really have to be like top 7 or 8. And then, like, you can get pushed by narrative into, like, top 5. But I definitely think there's, like, a week 8 or 9, if the Lions come out hot out the gates, that you're looking at conversations starting on podcasts and shows all across the nation.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, like, top 3, top 5 candidate, I think he can get a moment of that. But for him to get that for the whole season, the Lions would have to dominate. Like, I think if the Lions get 13-plus wins, then I think Goff can really flirt with like a top 3.
Top 3?
I think
you want to make the bet?
I think
I said top 3 because I know that's not where he's a touch.
No, I agree.
I think he can touch top 5.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. But again, I think this is the last year. We talked about the Lions narrative. This is the last year that I think Lions can get the general outside support before they become the villains, because I think you still have the sympathy of last year's heartbreak and everything going on there. Yeah. So I think this is the last year where if you could kind of get that push, but I don't think ultimately Jared Goff will be top 3. But I think if they're winning at the rate that we expect them to win, he will get at least a couple top 5 votes. Like I do think that's possible. That's very possible.
Yeah.
But I'm with Eazy. I will take money. I will match any money that Eazy puts for Goff being top 3, because that ain't happening.
I think he can get close, because if you look at last year, we had 12 wins, right? Goff was borderline in getting near that top 5 conversation in MVP. It was the Dallas game that sunk him last year. He had 2 picks. He didn't look good, and then they ended up losing in a dramatic fashion. The whole world was watching that game, trying to see if the Lions were for real. That's the game that really took him out of it. But like he said, if you're winning 12 to 13 games, that means Goff is probably having a great season, and he's most likely he will be in that conversation.
For me, what it is I don't even think it was a Dallas game. I think it's just like,
he was killing before.
No, it was a stretch. He had a stretch.
Like if you're, and I'm not even trying to like insult anyone here too. It's just like if if you connect the dots with the context surrounding the situation with Jared Goff, Ben Johnson, offensive line, like there are things that makes him work.
That's true.
That wouldn't exist like without those. And we saw it in those games where Chicago obviously missed a little bit of the interior offensive line. There's Green Bay missed a little bit. Like it's night and day different dude out there.
True, but what won most of the games last year? We know the defense was compromised on the back end. So Goff did single-handedly win a lot of these games.
But that's the thing. That's why he doesn't get the MVP votes, because no one's looking at it single-handedly. It's a unit. It's a cohesive unit. Like Goff with a lot of the same weapons, by the way, too. Offensive line as well, with a different play caller. Anthony Lynn, horrendous. You talked about it the last segment.
Yeah, it was a different team then, but still.
No, Amon-Ra still number one. No, Amon-Ra is still the number one receiver.
That team was not in the same place this team is.
I got the numbers. The same top 3 receivers. The same offensive line. Different play caller.
When Anthony Lynn was here,
his belt, huh?
You're saying when Anthony Lynn was here, he still had everything he has now.
Yes, a lot of the stuff he has.
Really?
Yes, his same. Listen, go look it up. Look it up right now.
We're too short. Demont, Gibbs.
Even J-Mo, he didn't have the first half of this year or the back half of last year. In the first half of this year, we probably said he had the best odds of winning MVP because he was balling out of his mind. And it's without J-Mo. But no, go look it up. The top 3 receivers from 2021, the same top 3 receivers the past 3 years. Offensive line the same.
But the team is in a different spot though, like
different play caller. Yes,
Eazy.
And that's why he doesn't get the votes.
They haven't added
no one's looking at it and be like, Jared Goff is doing that all by him. No, it's a collective situation, and that's why Lamar gets votes, because Lamar's out there making shit happen. And I'm not, again, because that's why I fucking hate having the conversation. It sounds like I'm shitting on, but I'm telling you what it is. That's what's happening. Okay. That's why there's success there. That's what you need for him to be successful. You can win these games with him. You can win playoff games with him. You can get to the NFC Conference Championship game, but you need those things around it. Where other guys, like these guys, are just going to kind of like work in almost any situation.
Let me break the piece here. Let's in the chat. I want you guys to comment, because again, if you're saying he's going to finish top 5, again, who is he placing over? Lamar, CMC, Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, Patrick Mahomes,
CMC. Because
those are 5 that I think I would favor to have over Goff already, and that's not counting whatever quarterback is going to explode. Like if the Chargers are magically good, Justin Herbert will get that, he's new, he's fresh buzz.
CJ
like
Stroud.
Joe Burrow, if he returns back to MVP form. Like they're like that's 5 names right there that I think are pretty solidified in the top 5 to 7. Goff's going to have to beat at least one of those, if not 2 of those, if he wants to get top 3. So I don't personally see it. I think the Lions would have to have a historically dominant season for him to get there.
I think Josh Allen is going to take a step back for sure, so
Clearly.
I can see him sneaking in there.
But he always gets the numbers, though.
He just lost his whole team, basically.
And receivers.
He still has the numbers.
I still think he's going to put up crazy numbers.
But I will say to what Eazy's speaking on, the opposite side of that is we rushed for 24 touchdowns. If you put 5 of those to Goff, and you take out the Chicago game at home where he threw 3 picks, that's 35 tutties, 9 picks. You know, like that's like it's easy things I could see like that, where instead of pounding the rock from the 5-yard line 4 straight times and getting a rushing touchdown, maybe we do a play action to Laporta. He picks up another passing touchdown. If we go 14-3, just completely dominate the NFC, all roads lead through Detroit, like we think is possible. I know we have an extremely tough schedule. And then some of those rushing touchdowns become passing touchdowns. And like you said, he knows this playbook like the back of his hand, and what him and Ben Johnson are on the same page.
Yes.
I could see those interceptions coming down from 12 to single digits. And if you're increasing touchdowns, you're leading your team to a 14-3 record, and you have minimal interceptions, that's when he starts creeping in that top 5, top 3. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but that is the scenario of where he does get top 3 votes.
For me, the reason why I say he could maybe bump in the top 5, and you actually made a great point bringing up those names. The names I'd probably exit from the conversation, or I say he could maybe even replace CMC just for the natural life of a running back.
Like you can't count on that every year. He a dog, but you can't count on that every year.
Like that,
and
if
San Fran falls off, there could be like a Brock Purdy, CMC thing where it just like if that team falls apart, which I wouldn't expect it to, but if it does, then then yeah, that
Brock
opens the
Purdy
window.
was up there for like 3 weeks. Like, come on now.
Who were the names you had on there?
So I had
top 5.
Once again, do you want the top 5, the 5 I picked, or last year's top 5?
Last year's top 5.
Last year's top 5 is Lamar, Dak, CMC, Purdy, Allen. So that's my other question too. And I know we're pressed against.
Hold on, real quick.
Ahead.
Let me get this because that's the I asked for. Okay, Dak, I can see getting subtracted from that conversation. Golf replaced him, and again, Nick, he's had great numbers. He's had good numbers. Last year, top 5 in nearly everything. Again, I think what's going to make the difference is he's going to be able to make a lot of these funky plays that you see these guys in those conversations with because he knows the offense. He's going to be a lot more confident to bounce out because he knows where his receivers are going to be. I can't count on that because, again, he is limited in stature. He's also getting older. But I just think he'll be more confident in himself. But Dak exit that conversation. CMC probably replace. Lamar, Purdy, Allen probably stay.
But again, not in that top 5 is
questionable, but not for. I think he'll be there. They give him somebody.
Again, not in that top 5 though. To me, is Mahomes, Stroud, Burrow. Like these are guys, and plus again, there's always going to be that one team that overachieves. Yeah. So like that's where that top 5 gets really, really tough. Do I think he can flirt with that? Yeah, and I think that he's in a position, unlike Purdy, where I don't think that anybody on this Lions team would take votes from him. So I think that is one thing that Goff has going. So if his team is successful, he's playing good, then I think that, he can get in that conversation of top 5. I think top 3 is just a little too steep for him. But again, if you got a top 5 MVP caliber player, like you are very happy with your team.
By the way, again, if you guys think it's going to happen, the Eazy Sportsbook is open. All right.
And I'm matching every dollar.
Let me tell you guys about Swiss Insurance real quick, all right? Because you might need that insurance if you're trying to bet on the Eazy Sportsbook because we clean up, all right? Call my guy Mark at Swiss, all right? First and foremost, it's 313-530-1698 or visit him at mark@swissins.com. Listen, the number 1 draft pick is Swiss Insurance Group. Make sure your rates aren't creeping up. Make sure your deductible's not creeping up. Call Mark and get priced out with Swiss today.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan and Jerome Bettis, the Bus Stops Here Foundation, is proud to present the 3C Sports Press Conference to educate, inform, and inspire players, parents, and coaches in our local communities, featuring impactful speakers like Jerome Bettis, Eddie George, and Adam Schefter. Through April 24th to April 26th, make sure you guys pull up and get your tickets now. Scan the QR code to sign up today. What up there, and welcome back to
How you doing? How you doing?
Livemotorsport.com. I'm boy Eazy. You ever someone from Memphis talk?
Would you said that?
Is it Glow Real she's from Memphis?
Yeah, I think so. And there's also like Blackwood JB and all that way back. That was
she was I watched this. I think I talked about this with you guys before, but she was like, I love Beyonce. She's so beautiful. I like her music. That's the craziest accent I've ever fucking heard. She's so hot though.
You talked earlier about that human jukebox, like when you hear something it relates to a lyric. But when you did that accent, you know what I thought of?
What?
I don't know what song it is. Off
Lil
Wayne, Human Being. Hi, Weezy F baby, how you doing? Here to come take it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right,
Stomping on that beat. What song is that? Chat, help me out.
I'm going in.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Shout to KG, shout to Trap, shout to Nick. Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. I was going to read some of the comments. Were you about to use some first, Nick?
Yeah, just a quick question to you guys, because I think we're all on the same page. We're expecting a massive season from Jahmyr Gibbs. Who do you think has better odds to crack that top 5? We saw CMC do it last year. Do you think it's Goff or Gibbs?
Oh, Goff, easily.
Yeah,
really?
Easily. I think Gibbs is elite, and I think he's electric. He is the electrician, after all. But shout out Chef for that one. But
Shout out Chef.
I think that it's gonna be Goff. I think is not like Purdy. Like I get the comps that they were making. I get the comps that they were making, but I think Goff, in terms of national, has more respect than Purdy, and I think it will.
Does he?
I disagree.
Because Purdy got more votes than JG.
But again, that team looked like for most of the year a better team.
I don't understand.
Well, San Fran
still got the.
San Fran looked like a better team, so I think that was like
I don't
part of it.
Because people are gonna
I disagree, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I feel like the national narrative for the Lions is more centered around Dan Campbell than it is
absolutely
Jared Goff, and I feel like that would take away from Goff getting MVP votes. Like I feel like the narrative is never pushing him towards the top of where he's like the face of the Lions or he's the one leading them to where they're going.
I agree, but I'm saying I don't think Gibbs matches the CMC level. That's like I'm gonna take votes because 9 times out of 10 the quarterback is getting there. I named the top 10. There were 3 non-quarterbacks in the top 10, and they were CMC, Tyreek, and Myles Garrett. And I don't think Gibbs, well, I think he's a great player. I don't think year 2 he's going to have that type of season to take away from Goff. So if this Lions team is as successful as we think, then I think that it will mostly be Goff.
I think Amon-Ra would have a better chance than Gibbs of taking votes from Goff.
Fellas, I think the reason I pose it to you guys is because I think he can take that leap. I mean, in 15 games last year, 1,261 total yards and 11 touchdowns. I think that number is going to get up to 1,700 and maybe 15 touchdowns, but not just the numbers. I'm talking the flashy plays you see, top 10 type plays where he is busting ankles, going for 80 yards. Like I'm talking just explosive moves that will show up on every single highlight reel at the end of the day when they show Lions winning by 14 points. Like Gibbs is going to be on that highlight reel every time, and you do need some flash, like Eazy was kind of alluding to with some of those quarterbacks. I believe Gibbs has that flash, and I think that's why I could see him taking a massive leap.
The thing with MVP, what people are looking for, I also have Tom Brady, which I feel like Goff's got that going for again this year too. Just like hey, year 3 of this now, I'm here. Like, look at me. Mm-hmm. And people are like, oh yeah, Jared Goff again. And then like you're more used to seeing it. You're more comfortable having the conversation because you could say what Travis said. He's winning. He's been there, right? Mm-hmm. But Gibbs is that extra part of it where you're like, beyond the system, he's doing more beyond the system. Where JG kind of like phenomenal at it, by the way. Like, there's nothing wrong with it either. Having when people call him a game manager, I don't know why people get offended. There's nothing wrong with that. The only time I have an issue with it is when it's taking like up more than 15% of your salary cap space. Yeah. It's a team game at the end of the day. If a game manager, they work well with the rest of the team, right? But yeah, it's that little extra oomph that Jahmyr Gibbs offers. If he gets more in the passing game, maybe, but a little too early for my liking, Nick. A little too early. I do love Gibbs, and I think he'd take over as RB1 this year for us, but MVP is wild.
Yeah, I would book it that he would be in the top, 7, honestly, if we didn't have D-Mont. That's the only reason why I'm not booking it right now.
Yeah, I see the piece of it too.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I didn't see. He didn't have any. He wasn't there for the uniform stuff. He wasn't in the pictures at all.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
I think he's upset about that.
No, he might have been.
Probably at home.
Upset about
he's probably at home playing the game.
Yeah,
that's his.
He's probably at home playing the game.
He's low key anyway.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He don't want to.
Low key too though.
Yeah, Gibbs is.
People love Gibbs. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm reading some stuff on Twitter. I'm like, yo, is your girlfriend know you talking about a man like you? Right. What's going on, man? It's crazy. He's good. Well, I had one other segment here because Chris, as Nick likes to call him, we call him the NBA savant.
Yeah, the first time I did a pod
with him,
the
word. You just hesitated
he was
to give me
playing.
credit.
Yeah, except for that time.
He was playing.
Except for that. No, I really didn't. I thought you used something fancier.
First time on the podcast, Chris and I were in the back. I said NBA savant, giving him his hype. So great to see him on the desk right now.
Shout out to Nick. Nick coined it.
Chris first guy, we had to humble him a little bit. You got a big head.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I do.
But we'll definitely talk some NBA Pistons, some news coming out too about Tobias Harris and whatnot. But before we get to that, I just want to get you guys,
please. And
maybe it's not fair to put 3-word reactions because I didn't prep for initially 3 words. Maybe just reactions in general, if you like, if it's more easier for you.
3 words
to these draft picks for Detroit Lions at 29 and/or moves. All right, you want to put some music on, Nick? Feel free to do it. KG, I'm gonna start with you.
All right.
What is your 3-word reaction and/or just general reaction if Darius Robinson is a pick at 29 for the Detroit Lions?
If Darius Robinson is the pick,
yeah.
Cool with me.
Nice.
Cool with me. We can use the help on the edge, so I'm all with it. I think edge rusher is the way to go anyway. That's what I would do.
Okay. Chris?
Sorry, I was reading the comment. But okay, my first one for Darius Robinson is this is cool. Like, to me, it's a pick. This is cool. It's a pick that like I'm not that excited about. I think he can contribute. I think it's solid. I'm not blown away with it. You know, like it's just this is cool. If I'm sticking to only 3 words.
Sticking to only 3 words.
Sticking to only 3 words.
Nicholas?
Yeah, like we said, if this is at 29, bring him home.
Hey.
Yeah,
okay.
So I'm cool with it. If it's at 29, you're not going up to get him. I think he can be a good piece for this defense.
Here comes
moving
Trav.
forward.
I hurt everyone's feelings.
Trav.
Kill me now.
Damn, it's that bad?
Oh, that's aggressive.
He had it loaded.
I feel like him being a Lions.
I love it.
No, I said he had that loaded.
Oh,
yeah.
Clap it.
The Lions fan narrative, I feel like, really pushed him up boards for everybody and really started getting his name out there in terms of being a first-round pick for the Lions. I don't feel like he's a first-round talent, and I feel like I would rather trade back than select him at 29, just based off what I've seen from him.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Mine's, I guess, just 2 words. I guess. I don't hate it. I get it. A little too rich for my liking at 29 specifically. Again, I think we had Scott on yesterday. I don't know if everybody was part of that, but former scout himself was kind of like, yeah, he's kind of redundant when you're getting Josh Pascal, and I feel the same way. There's no, I don't know if there's superstar value there. There's definitely value. Like, don't get me wrong. He's 6'7", 270 pounds.
Yeah.
Has like 7.5 sacks his last year. Like, he can get down and he can play multiple positions for you, but it's like a filler per se. And we already have that filler in John Kaminsky and Pascal.
That's true. He does remind me of Pascal.
Yes. And again, it's like I guess. Or maybe I get it. I don't know, one of those 3-word reactions. All right. Now, here's a guy that wasn't brought to my attention up until KG. So, once again, I'm going to start with you.
All right.
Chop Robinson.
Chop.
Chop.
3 words for Chop. That's my guy.
Oh.
That's the guy. If they stay put, I just want to preference that with a caveat. If they stay put, then I feel like Chop Robinson is a very attainable player. I love his speed off the edge, man. He's a difference maker. He can also play the run. A lot of people sleeping on his potential, man. I think in this rotation, he'll be perfect for what we got going on here. So yeah, I'd be cool with that.
Christopher?
Repeat. This is cool.
Come
like,
on.
Okay, but these are the only 2.
You got something else.
These are the only 2 because honest to God, I look at both these prospects in pretty similar lights, and whoever you see as the higher ceiling, just take that one because I trust his coaching staff and development. But again, these picks I think are cool picks, quality picks. I wouldn't be mad at them, especially at 29. But I'm not in love with either of these guys. Like I am some of the cornerbacks or some of the linemen. Like I don't see that much to I don't see a super high ceiling to them. So I see them pretty similarly. Take the guy with the higher ceiling, whoever that is for you. For me, I just probably Darius.
For me, and I'm only just jumping this because we gotta get the break. Could be dangerous.
Oh,
could be
Like
dangerous.
that.
I don't know why. I mean, I guess I get it if you just want to look just at the stats.
Yeah.
But it could be nasty.
I'm trying to tell you.
You got this defensive line that we've been hyping up all offseason since the acquisition of DJ Reader. I'm talking about, I mean, literally, where I'm probably going to purchase a Lee McNeil's jersey. The only thing that made me pause for a second was like you guys talking about maybe you don't resign. That would suck.
Yeah.
It'd still be a hard-ass jersey. I don't care. You got Aiden Hutchinson, the opposite of it. This is a guy, a one-on-one situation. You could probably line up wide or just even put at the Sam position and just let him rip. I mean, we're talking about the fastest get-off in this year's draft class. There are some general managers, and I'm not bullshitting you. There are some general managers that have him as edge number 2 on their big board. And that's not me pulling out of my. That's shout out to Daniel Jeremiah. Got to hop in that press call, but
I keep saying he is Marcus Davenport without the injuries.
Yes. Now I will say this part of it though. I don't know that he's a Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell guy, because I just feel like with that potential, he should just be doing so much more at the collegiate level. On top of just like he just relies on that athleticism a little bit too much, where like he doesn't have like anything in his bag. It's just like that burst or nothing. You know what I'm saying? We do have to go to break though. It's 6:38, unless my clock's 6:39.
Yeah, we got 6:42.
That is the previous hour, Nicholas.
Wrong sheet.
Tell us about the NFL draft.
NFL draft?
Yep, that be me. So the NFL draft party, y'all know what it is. April 25th and 26th, we gonna be downtown tearing the city field draft. Hopefully the Lions come away with something good. But we will be downtown at the corner of Woodward and Adams at the Detroit 313 party. That is hosted by Figer Law, Jards, Lost Farm, and Gold Crown. 21 plus and free to everyone. Party starts at 2 p.m. on Thursday, and the live draft coverage begins at 8 p.m. We hope to see you downtown at the 313 party. Special thanks to Soroki's and Glorious for making everything happen. While the world watches Detroit, we're going to show them how we do. We're going to show them how we show off. So y'all know what it is, the 313 draft party.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
BGCSM 3C Sports Conference is coming during NFL Draft Week, starting on April 24th. Special guests will include Jerome Bettis, Barry Sanders, Eddie George, Aleem McNeil, Calvin Johnson Jr., Sean H. Wilson, Cynthia Freeland, Adam Scheffner, and more. This event is open to athletes, coaches, and parents, but space is limited. So go to our website and purchase your tickets today at www.bgcsm.org.
After an accident, people need to hire a lawyer more than any other time. So make Figer Law your first call. 1-800-A-WINNER. Their team of trial lawyers will get you the money you deserve. It's Figer Law. All we do is win.
Then tell us about, oh, wait, I think that's me, actually.
That's you.
Yeah, man.
Glorious Cannabis.
Well, let me tell you about some weed. The new Glorious Ice Water Bubble Hash Pre-Roll, now with diamonds, constantly pushing to create the best canna experience. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, not angel dust, baby, you know it. Allowing flower with the highest terps, making the best even better. Glorious Cannabis. Check us out at your local retailer or gloriouscanna2ns.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spimo Rex. Just kidding.
Damn. Just kidding. No, shout out Spenmo.
R.I.P. man.
He's having the time of his life.
Yo,
yeah, relax.
Oh, he's on Grand Rapids. Thanks for the Grand Rapids Griffins game. I'm actually really jealous about that. With Chris, I guess. I'm playing. Shout out to Chris making his way.
Honored to be here.
Weasel his way up to the desk. Make sure you like button for him.
Yeah.
In honor of Chris's debut, If we hit 216 likes during this live stream, I swear to you, I will raffle off a black Detroit Lions jersey. Okay. We'll do a poll to decide which player that is in honor of Chris's debut.
216 live
216.
right now.
That's how many people I saw in the chat last time I looked down.
Hit up all your friends. Everybody.
216.
Everybody. Tell a friend. Hop in. Smash the like.
Smash the like
Lions jersey.
Shout out to KG for allowing Chris the wheels as well.
Yes. I know, right?
It's my fault. KG. It is your fault. We got Travis in the Maz chair, and we got Nick Kohloff. And if any of Chris's friends or family, we pick on Chris everyone. It's like you're like the Meg. It's like a shtick.
No. We're not disrespecting me like
we
that.
gotta humble this guy. That's why. That's where it's stemmed from.
Yeah. No, I do. I'm a nice guy, but I do have quite an ego. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Behind closed doors, I'll be thinking I'm the shit.
The mega Woodward Sports is crazy though.
Yeah, no, that was out of pocket. That was just see that was just
who is the mega Woodward Sports?
Not me. I don't know. Pick someone.
Even for young sus, that's
I pick. Oh, I said what I said. Nicholas Kohloff, you still want to continue the 3-word reactions because you had one you want to get out on Chop Robinson. What was it?
Yeah, I feel like we should speed around, but if it's Chop Robinson, the pick at 29, my 3 words, another shot, please. I am out on Chop.
Wow.
Out on Chop. I would be at the bar, little tequila, little whiskey, whatever you want. Another shot, please, are my 3 words.
Y'all are crazy.
No production in the Big Ten. That's what it comes down to for me.
I wouldn't say no production.
It
wasn't the greatest production.
Maybe he is just a complete project that you think about.
Well, that's the other part of it too, right? Terrell Williams, Dan Campbell called the best defensive line coach in the league.
Yeah.
That's the guy you get to work with him.
And he'll be in a rotation with James Houston and Marcus Davenport. He won't be just out there 3 downs.
But if he is this great player, where the hell was it against these Big Ten
Nicholas
linemen?
Can I ask you this?
These Big Ten linemen.
I mean, he was smacking Blake Corum a little bit.
By the way, Big Ten linemen are great. Well, you're wilding with that. Offensive linemen are good in Big Ten. But let me ask you this: you ever heard of Clay Matthews?
Yes.
And he played in the Pac-10. There's a lot of passing, right?
Linebacker, yeah.
And you know how many sacks he had before he got drafted?
How many did he have? Easy.
4.5.
All right.
And Clay Matthews came to the league and did work. Everybody loved Clay Matthews.
Chop got like 7 or something. Like
4.
4? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had.
Well, I'm talking about this last year. He may have had like 3, spread out between the years beforehand.
And he only played 2 years anyway.
Oh, we'll see. There's that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
that's
why my 3 words were not. It's gonna be dangerous. It could be dangerous.
Right.
It could.
Yeah, he could bust out.
Well, that's 4, but
Trev, how you feeling?
Yeah, you're right.
How you feeling about Chop?
Trev.
I want your take on this.
I don't even have 3 words for him. I'm not gonna lie. Man. I don't have 3 words.
What a hater.
Really?
But I wouldn't be upset by it. He's a project.
Wouldn't be upset.
Wouldn't be upset. Okay.
Yes, 3.
He is a project but
baby.
I feel like you said, Terrell Williams, getting a chance to work with him and just having the athletic traits that Chop has, I feel like it would be perfect for him to work with one of the best defensive line coaches in the league and be able to be in a rotation in his first year, not have to be relied on every down.
Okay. Last one. And then we get to what Chris truly wants to talk about. And it's crazy that we got this. Yeah. This show flew by.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the drugs or what. It might be, man. This thing.
Eazy had to be on copious amounts of drugs to deal with me today.
Yeah.
So appreciate that.
He did. That's facts.
Last name on the list. Kool-Aid McKinstry. Pick 29.
Oh, you got one after that too.
I do, but I want to get to what you want to talk about because I know you're already wearing the jersey.
I appreciate
did
it.
Your hair.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid McKinstry, KG.
I'm indifferent. And I know that's technically 2 words, but I'm indifferent. I'm not mad at it. To me, he's not a better corner than Terrion Arnold was on the same team, but I would absolutely take Kool-Aid McKinstry. I know he kind of got some injury things he's dealing with, but ultimately he does have all the tools to be a number 1 corner in this league, and he could be your corner of the future, under the tutelage of this defense. So I'm indifferent.
Chris?
Yeah, this one I don't have the same as the last 2. I'm
cool with it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I have future CB1 with a question mark. Because my mentality is if you are drafting a CB in the first round, whether it is at 29 or 15, I know at 29 that's unrealistic expectations. But again, if you are investing in that CB room because it is not necessarily a need today other than depth, go for a star. Go for a guy that you believe is the guy. If you think Kool-Aid is a future CB1, then go ahead and go get him. But I don't want to spend a first-round pick on a CB that's decent. You know, and maybe that's Jeff Okuda, PTSD, or whatever. But if you're going for that, I want to be confident that that's the one. So for me, it's just about that.
Okay. For me, let's see it. Brad calls himself the cornerback snob.
Yeah, that's true.
This guy at the collegiate level, although you watch the tape and it wasn't as
Shout out gun guy,
sticky
take your
as you
pants
want,
off.
like your CB1.
Yeah.
The numbers were undeniable. I think he only had like 3 touchdowns allowed on him his
true.
entire like collegiate career.
Yep. Played
Only
in that
threw on him,
Alabama
like 46 times. People tried throwing him on last year. I mean, like they were scared to do so. Like that shit's impressive. I don't care like which way it comes. Like that's impressive to have those type of numbers like coming out of this college. So let's see it. I think he could be it. And I've said it before too. I think Carlton Davis could be a good veteran to learn from because I think
Absolutely.
the play style is kind of similar.
Yeah.
Nicholas?
Major prospect fatigue.
Damn.
That's what I got for Kool-Aid because I just looked up earlier today in the summer of last year, July 27th and August 27th, way too early mock drafts. He was at number 10 and number 5. We know about the foot injury that he was dealing with this season. And when you hear about these prospects for so long, I think you're seeing it right now with a guy like Brock Bowers. People start sleeping. They want to get the new name in there. You've heard about Kool-Aid for 3 seasons now. And I think it's major prospect fatigue. I think we'd be lucky to have this guy at 29. I think he can be a big addition to this defense. And hopefully the cornerback one of the future. Trav, how you feeling on him?
According to PFF, I just want to get this out there real quick. I apologize. Kool-Aid McKinstry was only targeted 39 times last year. And only allowed 19 receptions. Like that's crazy.
Let him cook. That's insane.
But go ahead.
My 3 words would be, here we go.
Here we go.
It's the piece that all the Lions fans have been clamoring for, and they think he's going to be the final piece of this defense that hopefully takes us over the top and gets us to that Super Bowl, and they think he can be our cornerback 1. So here we go. Let's prove it and let's see it.
I like that.
And again, let's not underestimate the power of these picks. We talk about how good this team is, how full this team already is, but injuries happen in football, man. Like you need, like depth is vital. So wherever you are getting your depth, we talk about, you'd want a guy that obviously is a starter day one, really helps your Super Bowl window. But sometimes what also helps your Super Bowl window is when a guy goes down and the guy that steps up is better than average. I mean, pause. When a guy goes down, it's crazy.
We doubled up in the reads.
It's crazy.
Just for you, Chris, I know you want to talk about it. News broke today out of NBA Central because we already did our reads.
We did our we cleared.
Here we go. Tobias Harris is allegedly a target for the Detroit Pistons.
Why? I know why, but it's
anyone surprised here?
No, that's the mid move. That's the move that the Pistons will make.
Is NBA Central like a
credible?
Yeah,
they're decently credible. They're
what's the other one? There's one I completely unfollowed because like this.
I know which one you're talking about, but I don't know their name.
Yeah, I unfollowed.
It's not Hoops Legion. Is it? It's something.
No, it's
someone
not.
else. I don't want to discredit somebody by accident.
Yeah, we'll move on from that. I don't want to do that either, then.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
basketball nerds fucking coming.
I think.
Waves. I don't want no smoke.
I think that look, if you want to rebuild this Piston team, because you talk about Tobias Harris, we've all heard the names of Jeremy Grant. We know how fond Troy Weaver is. We'll see if he's around making the decisions or not for this team. But getting guys like Tobias and stuff, while they're good players, they're quality players, it screams mid. I know everybody is talking about Houston, and look at Houston this year. And they actually had a chance to be in the playoffs because they had a miraculous run in March last year. And they went and they got Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet. They went after Brook Lopez as well. They went to get players that could help them win now, and a coach that leans veteran a lot like Monty.
Yeah.
So I get why people are looking at that. But I'm saying F Houston's philosophy. I'm looking at if I want my GM, this future GM, to build around a team, I'm looking at teams like Cleveland. You got young guys that you like, so go all in while these young guys are on rookie contracts because you got Cade for, you're assuming, at least another 4, 5, 6 seasons.
Yeah.
Because you're probably going to match whatever he signs.
Yeah.
So you're looking at Cade Cunningham being here long term. Asar, Duran, whatever you have left of the core, Ivy, we'll see. But go get a star. Like, here's where, before I leave it to you guys, this is what I think it would truthfully take to get a star. So then you tell me if you're willing to go for it. And I got some names. So I think if you want to get a star caliber player on the trade market for Detroit, you are starting a package around Ivy, Sasser, your 2024 pick, wherever that lands, and maybe 1 or 2 future firsts.
Yeah.
That's a lot to give up. But again, I'm willing to do that. Why? Because I know I got at least 1 star in Cade Cunningham for multiple seasons, another star paired with him, and young guys that I think can grow into good roles and be good players. So I'm okay with that, with mortgaging a pick that's 4 years from now. I know that sounds crazy because we're not at a championship window, but what we are on a window is having a star long term. So I'm with it. But that's kind of the price. Before I name some names of people, is that a price that's too steep for you guys to go out and get a star? Or do you guys want to do the Houston thing and go get you a couple good players?
It just depends who's a star. Is he a star just because like he's the only good player on a team and he puts up numbers because of that? Or is he like genuinely like a star? Like a guy that's going to ball out?
I'd say these guys are all generally stars.
And the other part of it, too, is you guys know how I am. I'm all about the fit, like 10-mile kid. Like, just, I need it to fit.
Yeah.
People were laughing at me when I'm on Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
They finished 41-41. You guys love Blake Griffin for that 41-41.
Yeah.
Like, get veteran pieces. I'm not opposed to
Dylan Brooks
Tobias.
ain't no Blake Griffin. Stop
I'm not opposed to Tobias. I'm really not, because we got nothing right now. And it's a guy that can stretch the floor and actually play defense.
Yeah, but
I saw a poll today where people
year.
were like, how much of an upgrade is Tobias over Bojan?
Yeah.
I was like, that's a tremendous upgrade. Like, you got a guy that actually can move. And they're not the best. I will admit that. He is getting older, too. But move better than Bojan did, like, for damn sure.
Yeah.
Like, he contributes more than just, like, the three-point shooting. And sometimes Bojan go a little, like, crazy. And like, we tried, like, taking it to the rack sometimes. Like, yo, relax, bro. Shout out to Chad Johnson. We got to sit courtside for that Lakers game. And I was like, Bojan, bro, what are we doing? Like, he's trying to, like,
I mean, he
like
can put the ball on the floor,
so.
but
yeah,
not like that. But
I wasn't comfortable with it. But I just think it's a fit. But I'm also, yes, give me a star and give me a star like a stretch.
So here's some names I think could realistically become available. Obviously, one we talked about extensively, Donovan Mitchell. Where I'm at with that price point, I get that this team has nothing going for them, but I'm not trading all that for potentially 1 year of a guy that I don't think has a good chance of staying long term. But throw him out there because he's a star that I think will be available this summer.
Chris, hold on. Before you go further, is Brandon Ingram on this list?
Yes, he is.
I want him.
You want Brandon Ingram? Brandon Ingram and Mikal. Good pause. Brandon Ingram and Mikal Bridges.
You know what? I cleaned it up.
Yeah. Brandon Ingram and Mikal Bridges are guys I think you don't have to give up quite that much for. Like, I think those are guys that you could get for a lesser price than a Donovan Mitchell or these other guys I'm about to name. Because, look, you know where I'm at with it. I'm calling Phoenix. I'm calling Ishbia. Yo, what's the deal with Book? Let's take a look. Do we got a deal here?
Do you hope
like,
they get
I'm calling
swept?
him.
Do you hope they get swept here?
Yeah, if you are a Piston fan, you are dying for Phoenix to ball out in the worst way possible, like flame out. I mean, in the worst way possible, excuse me. Another team I'm calling Utah. I'm looking at Lauri Markkanen. What are you doing here? You got a bunch of young pieces, and you don't have a foundational piece. Lauri, you're about to have to pay in a couple years. Do you want to pay him and be around a bunch of mid? I don't know. And then the other one, this one's a little bit out of pocket, but I think he'd be a perfect fit if this team is willing to sell, because they just have been a mess the last couple of years. I'm calling Memphis about Jaren Jackson Jr.
Ooh.
I think him with Duren is the perfect fit.
That's nice.
Talk about a perfect front court.
Yes.
You got an interior defender, DPOY caliber player that can also stretch the floor. You put him next to Jalen Duren, the monster that Jalen Duren is, and I think and you got Cade running the show, a guard that can get you the ball in good spots. I think that's a really good pickup. And then like KG had mentioned, I got Brandon Ingram and Mikal on this list as things I would expect to have a smaller trade package for. But do any of those names jump at you? Or would you rather go the Tobias Harris and players?
So you got Mitchell, Ingram, who else?
Jaren Jackson.
Bridges, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Lauri Markkanen.
Mikal, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, Bridges.
Good players, all of them.
He is.
You know what? For me, I think I'm with KG. I think it's Brandon Ingram.
We need a wing in the worst way.
Of all of those?
Of all
What
those,
happened to Asar?
I like Jared Jackson. I mean, you and I, you're the one that actually kind of convinced me of this more than anyone. And actually, I've had conversations with Jalen Rose, that you could have 2 big men, but they have to be able to pass.
Yeah.
But like, that's not really what's dominating today's league.
Yeah.
Today is what I always say. Wings when he rings is the thing I always make.
Yeah.
I agree.
Brandon Ingram is that. He's a guy that not only can shoot the ball, but also can share the ball. He's also played with other ball-dominant guys. LaMelo.
Yeah. But he's reportedly been unhappy.
Lonzo. Huh?
He's reportedly been unhappy, though, in the role that he's at in New Orleans.
He would be a star here, though.
Which part of it?
He would be instant star here. And then you said it would take a smaller trade package to get him. Does that mean you could maybe keep Ivy, or would he absolutely need to be in the deal?
I think an Ingram package starts with again. Look, I would love for Ivy to be the start of a package, but ultimately, I don't think he has the value that Detroit thinks he has around the league. Although we've all said this on this show that we think he has a very high ceiling. He's a very good player. I think these last couple of years have kind of tainted his value around the league.
Monty.
But I'm saying that Brandon Ingram, you're starting with Ivy, the 2024 pick, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Unless that's number 1, then maybe you don't really have to add much more. But if it's top 5 like it's projected to be, then I think, I think it starts with that Sasser, and then from there you negotiate what else is a part of it.
Chris, before we wrap this up, first of all, great job today. Second of all, what would you do if you were the head president of operations for the Pistons? What's the move you would make?
By the way, Troy Weaver staying.
Yeah.
Reported.
Officially?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I'm not mad at that if he's in the draft room. Because in the draft room, like
I'm with you, by the way.
I think, there's been some picks that people point out, but we've also heard rumblings that some of the picks that people don't like, Troy wasn't necessarily the decision maker there.
You suck at your job.
I think he sucks at facets of the job.
Right.
I think he sucks at facets of the job, but I don't think the whole job. So for me, if I'm them, again, first thing I'm doing is I'm calling Phoenix. I'm calling those stars and seeing what the deal is and seeing who I can get done. F the Houston approach. Get you a star, because I think you got good players in Cade, Duren, Ivy, Sasser, all of that. So I think you got a good team.
Rumblings.
Yeah, I see Trae Young rumblings. I almost put him on this list, but nah,
I'll be cool with that.
You want Trae and Cade? I don't know about that.
Yeah, what I want next
because then Cade has to be your defender.
Somebody can stretch the floor.
Cade has to be your elite defender, though. And Cade is a good defender.
We saw it not work with Dejounte Murray.
Yeah, but I guess Dejounte.
I watched them two play the other night.
What I just don't want Cade to be is taxed with the role of primary guard defender on top of what he does.
3 times.
What he does. I know, but that's to me the biggest issue. Is it not?
You want to say it again?
No, I'm good. I got it out of my system.
Hey, shout out to KG. Yeah. Shout out to Chris for his first show on the desk.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thank you.
How'd it feel?
Nah, man, it's fun, man. I love it. I love it, man. Again, shout out to KG, shout out to Spencer, shout out to you for making this happen. I had a lot of people, get me here, so I gotta give them their credit. So for sure, appreciate it.
Fun fact, you got it the first time I tried to get him here. Shout out to Dre, shout out to Nick, shout out to you guys. Smash that like button. Wait, did we hit the 216 for the jersey?
Hell no. 118.
Hell no.
118.
He said hell no.
That's crazy.
Hey, but 118, man. I
should have said after the beginning of the show. That's my bad.
We still love y'all though.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it.
We out.
Overtime. How we under graphics right next to the
all
intro.
right, you got more time. Hit 216 likes.
216. Shout out Chris. Congratulations.
Peace.